D-League roster decisions for the Miami Heat. Good evening, Amy.
Jax, if there's a storyline, and sometimes it's created, we're going to find it.
Always.
Can I get an amen?
Let's go.
But with all the jokes aside, one of the most brilliant components to these types of events, like the Summer League, is that whether you're a fan, you're a player, you're a coach, you're front office personnel, if your number's called out there, like there's no, oh, it's the end, it's the last game, it doesn't matter. I mean, you better work when you're out there. So I don't anticipate a doozy from the players today. If this is it. This is their final chance to show who they are. A lot of these Heat guys that aren't veterans of the Skyforce are trying to earn really an invite to camp. And I imagine that this is the last little stretch here. So the irony, of course, is Portland on the other end. And, that Denver game was unfortunate. It wasn't pretty on either side for a while. So I feel pressure a little bit for some of these guys, right? Because this is it. There's no more opportunity to go out there and be the big dog. It has to happen today.
Yeah, not everybody's getting the call in 2 weeks to come on in and keep working out. Get ready for the season. Starting lineups on the Portland side of things. It's Chris Murray, Jabari Walker, Ibu Badji, undrafted last year out of Senegal. Also in their first five, Michael DeVoe and Ryan Rupert out of France, 42nd pick this year for Portland, who on Thursday, I should note as he stepped out on the hardwood, one of the youngest players. Well, definitely the youngest player for Portland as he turns 20 next May 31st. Spent 3 years in France, played last season with the New Zealand Breakers, who, by the way, who has a vested interest in the New Zealand Breakers?
You do.
No.
Because I know you like the wine from there.
I do. Come on, that's Sauvignon Blanc. You know the deal. Sean Marion.
Oh.
Yeah, 2018. Bought a piece of a squad there. I believe has a team somewhere else. And it's fantastic. For your Miami Heat, it's going to be Kane, Peterson, Robinson, Williams, and Smith all getting opportunities. And Williams hasn't gotten the starting nod yet. So this will be an interesting time for Alondas Williams, who is one of your favorite former ACC players, albeit a portal switch of 1 year to Wake Forest.
Well, I think it's important to note that his nickname is Man Man.
And the tattoos on each arm, Man Man.
Because he's like 2-1. I mean, when he gets up, you want to see how he can take that rim down. We saw it in practice, and you watch his highlights. He certainly can. So Man Man gets out there and gets it done.
Now we should note Miami Heat royalty in the house. Amanda Fuentes, Miami Heat Broadcasting, with us, as we are one band and one sound, regardless of the space and layer and format and platform. But Dwayne Wade and Udonis has them in the house. She is on it. She is on it for guests here on the audio experience. Crowdy will be up this quarter. We'll spend some time with Malik Allen, Miami Heat assistant coach. And we have some encore presentations if needed. But the house is packed. We may not have to go into the fortress. We'll see what happens.
I'm just still wishing that they could mic up UD for a Summer League game. It doesn't matter.
That would have to be
I know, it's too late.
Streaming with parent controls.
Well, yeah, there'd have to be probably a 1 second delay.
One?
That's a quick hand.
9 second delay.
Quick finger, 1 second delay.
Trevor back in the studio right now as we're underway. And the rock in the hands of the Blazers to start things off. Rocking the rock right now is DeVoe back and forth. He still has it now using the screen from Badji, and there's a foul inside as the attack comes in from Michael DeVoe, undrafted out of Georgia Tech. That foul's on Drew. Drew Smith's first personal foul, team's first. As DeVoe is at the line. With 35-0 as a high school senior. He was on that same team at Mount Verde Academy up the road in South Florida with R.J. Barrett.
And he's had a little bit of an interesting couple weeks for him because with Scoot Henderson getting injured in the first game, he stepped into the starting role. But I don't know if that was the plan for him, right? So
Step in, step up.
Hey, but that's sometimes right. It's unfortunate part of sport, but that's how you carve your way sometimes.
Kane rips the net with a splasher from the right pocket. Corner three, as you know, a staple in the Miami Heat offense. It will be open. You just got to make it. Heat 3, Portland 1. DeVoe made one, missed one. 9-16 here in the first quarter. The ball working on the right wing. DeVoe gets in, got it up. Got all 3 points of Portland does DeVoe. Tied at 3 in the first quarter. And make it 5-3 with a nice little runner from Orlando Robinson, who's been working on that one-hand touch from the free throw line down to the bottom of the circle.
And you knew when he came out with that 36-11 game one, the rest was going to be a bit more difficult for him, right? I mean, you drop that kind of numbers your opening night, a little more intention for Orlando.
A little mid-range action, a little twine tickler for the twin of Keegan Murray. Chris Murray out of Iowa.
Identical.
Can't tell them apart at all.
It looks exactly the same.
Missed by Miami on the other end, tied at 5. On the move. Jabari Walker got it up and in. Portland's second-round pick from last year. So Portland 7, Miami 5. Change it. I mean, every time I announce the score, somebody else ripping it from 14 feet. Drew Smith gets out.
Jackson, that's what he said. Just because it's the last game, you think you can come in here and work?
We're doing it.
You're going to have to work.
Point blank miss by Baji. Here come the Heat the other way. Tied at 7, 7:53 here in the first quarter. Smith fires from the top of the arc. It's missed. Long rebound to Williams. He moves it to Robinson, top of the arc. He doesn't hesitate. And that's a short attempt on a 3 from the top of the arc for Robinson.
Well, Portland just gave 2 wide open looks to Miami, and especially this early in the game, you got to take those, right? Try to keep defense on their heels a little bit.
Possession almost died there as another net ripper. Murray. The shot looks the same too, by the way. Just the formation, everything, not just the face, as he rips the net from the top of the arc. And it's Portland 10, Miami 7. 7:17 here in the first. Kane pauses at the free throw line. Bounce pass inside to Robinson. He spins off the glass, bounces all over the place, then in for 2 for Orlando.
Orlando's so great at moving without the ball in his hands. Even when Jamal got into the paint with the ball on the ground, he kept moving and established his inside position.
Portland 10, Miami 9, 6:56 here in the first. Jab step by Murray. Gets to the painted area. Kicks it out top to Walker. He fires a 3. That one skims in to the top of the arc. Shading to the left. Portland 13, Miami 9. 6:38, first quarter. Peterson puts it on the floor, right side. Snaps it back behind him. Robinson fires a 3. Stepped right into it. Nothing to it but to do it. From the land of milk and honey, Robinson's second take is a make. Portland up 1.
What a great pass from Drew Peterson. Looked like a little sky hook over his head, but that time Orlando had more rhythm than his previous attempt from long range. He got his feet into it as well.
Turnover by Portland, thanks in large part to Drew Smith. Getting on the hardwood right in front of the Heat bench. Knocking that rock away. So Heat ball with the Blazers up 13-12 as we near the middle portion of this first quarter. Game 5 for both teams here in Vegas Summerlin. Williams collects it left side. Gets cut off. Good foul there. I believe that's going to be on Baji. Ibu Baji spent last season on a 2-way deal. Spent most of his time in the G League. But no NBA games. Had a left knee injury. Had surgery in March to help out as the Heat get themselves back on the board. It's Kane getting it in.
Nice one dribble pull up right from the free throw line.
As the Heat take the 14-13 lead with 5:49 remaining here in the first quarter. Walker driving right down the middle. Contested by Robinson. Didn't go. Ball knocked out back top, though. DeVoe grabs it, drives, pauses, puts it up, misses. Ball goes out of bounds right beneath the bucket. It'll be Heat ball after this timeout. Heat up 14-13. 5:35 remains in the first quarter. Looking forward to some time here with the sweet shooting left-hander out of Virginia when we come back. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court, one that sees their customers as part of a team with a common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amarant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life. And just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amarant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amarant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC.
The season is here, and so is your chance to experience all the thrilling Heat basketball live and in the stands. As the official marketplace of the NBA, Ticketmaster has got you covered with the largest selection of seats of any ticketing marketplace. Do not miss any of the action. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Heat.
Time for more Hot Heat Summer League action on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat a little tussle in their fifth and final game here in Vegas. Back and forth with Portland. Yep, they're actually playing the Blazers. NBA did that on purpose. Trailblazers and Heat. Hello. Heat 14, Blazers 13. A man who's played for both franchises is with us now. Miami Heat television color analyst, the only member of the television team of Heat broadcasting overall, quite honestly, with 2 tours here in Vegas. On the microphone with us, John Crotty. Greetings, my man. It's really nice to see some of the frontline guys who've had a couple games off to come out and start this, talking about Smith and Robinson and Peterson. Kane's played all of these games, and Williams getting a start here as well. When it comes down to the last opportunity, what does this feel like for some guys?
Boy, Jackson, Amy, he is just playing with great confidence. His ability to shoot with range, to me, has just become so apparent here this summer. Oh, go ahead and let it go right there.
He's put the jab step on everybody right there. It's a jumper from the free throw line. And Kane doesn't go. Robinson in among 4 white jerseys to battle that thing out. And we're going to get a jump ball.
Jump ball. Wow. That looked like a good snatch, clean rebound there for Orlando Robinson. But I like what Drew Smith, the way he's always played with great confidence, Jax. He's a guy, I think, who continues to be reliable. And then Drew Peterson, someone I'm really interested to see, how it shakes out with him. I can see already what Coach Caron Butler likes about him, his ability to space the floor, be an effective shooter. But, boy, he moves the ball extremely well, has a great feel for the game as a young player.
I was going to ask you about across the way, Caron. I mean, having the opportunity to come in and be a head coach as well, but what have you kind of learned about him over the last 2 or 3 seasons now? And I mean, he loves to coach. That's been very apparent.
Just talking to him even recently, Amy, it's apparent to me that he is absolutely in love with the profession. I mean, he is really enjoying what he's doing. And being a head coach and having that chance here in the Summer League is just great. He looks so comfortable over there on the sideline. Some people just don't. They have to kind of work their way into it. He's a natural. He looks super comfortable. He's a great presence over there as a bigger guy who commands respect. Obviously, he's done it at the highest level as a 2-time All-Star, and someone that a younger player can look to as a guy who's done it and who really is passionate about them getting better.
Heat 16, Blazers 13, 4:15 remains here in our first quarter of the last game of Summer League for the Miami Heat, visiting with John Crotty. When I say Heat and I say Blazers, we talk about your resume stops. Those were 2 very different experiences. Yeah. By the way, I believe I believe a documentary has been greenlighted about your iteration.
Oh, I did not know that. That would be very interesting, because I went from a 96-97 team that was incredibly competitive and tough, and to me, when I'm proud to be a part of it as someone now in the broadcast world on Miami, because to me that was the changeover of the real culture. That Coach Pat Riley was his second year. There was a lot of transition that first season, players coming in and out, but that second year, with Tim Hardaway, with Alonzo Mourning and Keith Askins, and the toughness and the hard training camps and the practices that were 3 hours long during the season, which never happens, helped shape a lot of, to me, what's still going on now. And then I went the following year to the Portland Trailblazers on a 3-year deal, which was a big deal for me at the time to get a multi-year deal. And it was completely unstructured, sort of Wild West type atmosphere with really talented players, but really undisciplined guys who got in trouble a lot off the court. So it was like this crazy dynamic every day with people showing up late, not being there, and the coach constantly having to deal with disciplinary issues.
I don't know who is in charge of the documentary because I want to make sure that you get some time in this. But the working title is, what do you think? What one word do you think they're using for the working title of that iteration?
Of the Trail Gangsters or Trail...
It was the
Jail Blazers.
Yes.
One of those two.
They are going.
Are they really?
And
Going
but that is the title.
Yeah. No, look, there was like 3 guys who, I want to say there were 3 guys after the first year that I played there that did a short jail term in the offseason. Yeah. No, literally. I mean, I've never had
the orange jumper
in 11 years. I've never seen that happen before anywhere else for one guy.
It was a unique time.
Yeah.
Staying on your career, John, I'm wondering if you can share some, maybe your greatest memories in the NBA. I, without giving it away, heard Jax have a conversation with another player about some of his favorite memories this morning, so I'd love to hear yours.
My favorite are really just the great relationships you develop, and a lot of times it's the guys on your own team who you're going against every day in practice, and then you get to compete against other teams. I have great memories of that 96-97 team with Tim and Hardaway, practicing against him every day and making him better, and then having a chance to back him up and also play with him, where I got to go to the point. Tim played the 2, which was pretty unique at that time, and I think he appreciated it because it took a lot of pressure off him and he could look to score. I think of the Jazz as another team. And my relationship with Stockton and Hornacek and how that still remains today too. Again, going against those guys every day and having a chance to back them up and play, high level. But over 11 years, I felt a little bit when in this broadcast role like I'm Kevin Bacon. There was like 6 degrees. I could touch everybody, Amy. So really, it's so many positive memories, and it was a great era to be part of the game.
John, thank you very much. Way to take your birthday weekend. Bring it to Sin City, a.k.a. the face of the sun. Come on, baby. We missed each other in the cigar lounge the last couple nights. Tonight, let's sync it up. You got one more night in. John Crowder, we appreciate you, buddy. Heat up 19-16, 2:46 remaining here in the first quarter. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Fly to Philly, take off to Tampa, depart for Denver. Following your team on the road is more rewarding with the new American Airlines Advantage program. Your flights and every day spent not only earn you miles toward your next trip, but also loyalty points toward Advantage status. All the more reason to purchase both a home and away jersey. With status comes great benefits like priority boarding, free checked bags, and complimentary upgrades. Not a member? Enroll for free today at aa.com. American Airlines, you are why we fly. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey fans, Crazy Andy for the Miami Heat Show with tonight's bottom of the game. Tonight, Crazy Andy has another crazy deal. For tuning into the Miami Heat audio experience, we are offering you 50% off Matchup Volume 2 shorts. That's right, 50% off. All you have to do is log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com and enter the promo code VEGAS. That's right, VEGAS, Vegas. You better act fast because Crazy Andy deals are going fast. Now let's get back to Jackson 80.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Fellow Reds fan, Andy Montero, a.k.a. Crazy Andy, right now in the fetal with me as the Brewers came to town and swept the mighty Cincinnati Reds. But that's going to be a battle at the top of the National League Central all summer long. I got to figure out an opportunity to get to Great American Ballpark myself. As we sit here in Thomas and Mack on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Heat up 19-16, 2:30 remains here in the first quarter. Kane mid-range jumper that snatches all that twine from the left side.
Jamal right now, he's opened up really comfortable hitting some shots that he's accustomed to. He didn't hit in that Denver game. He went 1 for 7 from long range already. He's already in his pocket and getting some nice looks.
Quick look inside for Portland. Great little look as Williams got inside. And a nice look by Reith is that. I think we'll lock in on that.
Oh, what a finish from Orlando Robinson. He's shaking his hand a little bit, so you hope he's okay. But pass from Messner, who penetrated, got to the paint. Orlando, again, trails without the ball in his hands and then makes the easy, correct play at the rim.
T23, Blazers 18, 1:43 to go here in the first quarter. Top of the arc jumper, doesn't go. Chase down, rebound by Portland. Williams on the move, gets to the left side of the lane, gets it to go just beneath the left elbow. So Heat 23, Blazers 20, 1:23 remains in the first quarter. As it's Kane, Robinson, Williams, Daniels, and Messner. Got a whistle on the drive as Madman went on the attack. And by the way, I'm finding out right now that there was some CGI. Because I'm looking at the spot when I was watching the Madman video on social media where the tattoos would be. They're not really there.
Oh, okay.
I got fooled. Miami Heat Digital and social.
And that's
Kudos.
I was wondering when the nickname came. I thought this was something that was just.
But they developed in here.
Yes.
Maybe not at the college stops of Oklahoma or West Virginia.
Which would be incredible.
I'm sorry, Wake Forest.
Yeah. Well, you finish an and one. It's a big, strong finish.
Heat being led by Robinson in points scored, 9 points. And the folks that are on the floor get up and throw down inside by Reith. Rob Reith played at LSU before being undrafted about 2018, so he's been trying to make it happen. Born in Sudan, moved to Australia at age 9 due to the Sudanese Civil War. Played for the Australian national team in 2020, got himself a bronze. Nothing going at the other end by Kane, so Portland trying to make something happen and doesn't. Williams with the rebound. Kicks it up to Messner, pushes up right side. Left-hand dribble. Turns in the right, back to that left. Now on the drive to the baseline. Pauses behind his back to Robinson. And he had the feet going before he could put the ball down. That would have been a nice little combination between Messner and Robinson.
I would love to see the replay because when he caught the ball, I was actually looking at his feet. He did throw a pump fake. I'm not sure. He may have faked out the wrong person, who is the gentleman with the whistle.
I mean, that happens.
Well, that's a good pump fake then, huh?
One of the best. 8 seconds to go here in the first.
He may have shuffled.
We'll have a conversation with Dan Basaccio in just a moment. Poke out at the end. Jumper that was after the buzzer by Portland. Wouldn't have counted if it went in on the left side of the paint. Heat 26, Trailblazers 22. And we're keeping an eye down. I'm keeping an eye on Dan Basaccio, who's making his way to headset time for a little conversation with us to let it happen. Dan, we're all the way up top, man. You can't even see us due to the shot clock. I'll wave to you nonetheless, but good to have you back with us again. Talk to us about returning some of these guys back that had a few days off. Talking about Smith and Robinson and Peterson, getting them in here before we head back to Paradise.
Yeah, obviously it's Summer League, and we want to play a couple of games with everybody. We want to get everybody in last game, and you always want to end the last game on a good note. So we want to make sure we got some of our guys in, and Drew's been playing well, making good plays. Orlando's been looking great. And then, Drew Peterson, we're going to keep him rolling. But the guys are playing well together. And I really emphasize the word together. They're moving the ball, they're communicating, they're playing well on defense.
Let me ask you about the offense then. 11 for 21 in that first quarter. So what do you like about the types of shots you guys are generating?
Oh, just attacking the paint. A lot of our plays, we're getting a paint touch first, and then they're working from there, whether it's a three or it's a layup. But I just think the aggression early is really nice.
DB, we appreciate you, bud. Thanks for spending time with us throughout the fortnight.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
We'll see you back at the crib. And Basaccio, Miami Heat's lead video coordinator and assistant coach in Summer League here with head coach Karan Butler. Now scheduled to join us here in the second quarter, Malik Allen. And we'll stand by and wait for Heat assistant coach to pop in. He's had second half duty among the assistant coaching staff. He's good enough to pop in a little bit later and spend as much time as possible with the squad. And now we'll spend some time with the Miami Heat audio experience. I want to talk to him about how this all gets doled out. Malik, welcome to the program. It's Amy. It's Jax.
What's up, Jack?
First of all, tell us how this all rolls out. You got second half Vegas duty. So much of the staff came in early and it skedaddled on you. How's that all roll out?
Well, they this year was, I coached the previous 2 years.
Yes, sir.
And then my son was, he was actually playing in Peach Jam, so I was able to see his games.
That's awesome.
And as soon as his games ended, I just hopped on a flight, came out here, and the timing was just perfect because those guys had been, here the first stretch of Vegas, and I just kind of picked up and just been here and watching and having fun watching the guys and competing and getting better,
Yep.
Coach, before we get on the court, let me ask you, I know you had the opportunity, as you said, to be the head coach for Summer League. Karan, what was your advice to him, and what's an experience like when you move into the top bench here in Vegas?
Oh, man, it's so fun. I wish, when you're done, you're as soon as you're done, you're like, man, I want to do it again because it ignites that head coach bug a little bit.
Right.
And then for CB is always ultra prepared, and he wants to be ultra prepared. So I just said, you've already done the work going into, once they're about to take off and leave to head to Sacramento. I just said have fun with it. I knew he's a natural. He's got a natural voice. Guys respond to his voice. He's got a great way with the guys. He infuses confidence in everybody on the bench, even when they're not playing. He's got a gift for that, and and obviously he's had the career to sort of back it up. So he's got credence, and guys listen. So it was just a natural transition, and just have fun with the experience. And he has. He's everything is meeting. From his meetings to the walkthroughs, the practices. They've just been great. I've really enjoyed watching him, and I'm proud of him.
Miami Heat assistant coach Malik Allen with us here on the Miami Heat audio experience. Amy Adelberg, Jason Jackson. Heat up 28-23 as we're underway here in the second quarter. 8:47 on the clock. Make it 30-23 as McCoy gets a bucket to go as we chit-chat. Coach, let's talk about this path that Orlando Robinson has been on. You've had him damn near every second of his now 2 years with the Miami Heat. And from the work that you do that nobody gets to see to the pregame work for those who like to show up at the Sand Center early, to the work that he's done on his own. And just your feeling about being a part of the birthing of this career.
It's really, for him, it's just been a long time coming. I know he was so just excited and anxious to get back and play again. And for not just Orlando, for all those guys, they were putting in so much work, and then the G League season ended, and then we continued to play, which was great. There was just this huge gap, so there was a lot of time between from him playing actual games and then getting this opportunity. But he was so locked in, in everything that he did, from his details on the court to his weight room work, his conditioning. It was one of the most, just disciplined and focused couple months coming into a summer league, and all of a sudden you got to go out. You have a chance to go out there and show what you've built. From the G League year to to the time after the G League season when those guys get to work and practice. They had 2-on-2s. They were scout team. And it's been really cool to just watch him go out here and play just exceptionally well. It's been really fun to watch him, and I'm proud of him, because he's really wanted this opportunity and to play really well.
Coach Jax likes to grill me about my enthusiasm when I talk about post players. So I like that he tried to take that away from me right now, asking about Orlando, but I'm going to follow up on it.
Okay. Double down.
I wanted to know your perspective. I mean, gone are the back to the basket days, really, with many of these post players, and especially with the Miami, the way that, Bam's stepping out all the time on the perimeter, setting his screens. And how do you coach that now? The position almost seems to be different than what it used to be.
It is, but you know what? I think I do think there's going to be room because the league is such a copycat league in a lot of ways that I think post play, and we know Jimmy obviously he uses that area as well as anybody. I think it's going to be a way where we're going to be able to take advantage where teams are just not used to defending like they used to. So it's something we continue to work on. We never go away from it. I mean, the game is obviously it's different, and you play to your personnel. And Bam has a skill set, but even Bam, he's grown as a post back to the basket guy. You don't see it as much, but for me, you started to see, especially toward the end of the year and in the playoffs, he had opportunities where he's able to just go over his right shoulder, left shoulder. And be efficient with it. And like I said, I actually think there's going to be room for it to come back in some ways for teams who have guys who can score down there. Because, again, everybody's used to guarding pick and rolls and handoffs nowadays, catch and shoots. But, guarding post play is you just don't see it as much. So I think there's area, to take advantage of that for sure.
Spending time with Malik Allen, Miami Heat assistant coach. Before we let you run, that man to your left, a couple seats down, Udonis Haslem, is going to enjoy a new phase of life in his career, and still going to be around the organization, as he's noted, every day as we move into this next phase. What are you expecting with him?
Well, I would expect UD to probably come upstairs with his practice stuff on a couple times. But like this I know of this man, and I was with Miami when UD first came in, and it's been an honor for me, and it's just been so unbelievably privileged to just watch him these last couple of years that I've been here. You're not going to be able to just sort of shut the door and pop up for games. Like, UD is going to be in it. Like, he's going to come back. He's going to be a part of, I think input in terms of what he sees as games go by. Maybe not on a day-to-day basis, but we're going to hear his voice. Because he cares so much about the organization. He wants everybody to do well, and he wants these players to do well. That's the most unique thing about him is his passion, to help these young guys and these players. That's what makes him the best, in terms of just being the OG and the vet. That's never going to go away. So we're going to see a lot of him. And we want to see a lot of him.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. You'll hang with us on the other side?
Yeah, no problem.
We appreciate it. It's Malik Allen, Miami Heat assistant coach. Heat trailing by 2, 34-32, nearing the midway point by 1 second here in the second quarter of Game 5, the fifth and final here in Vegas for Miami and Portland. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
There's nothing sweeter than the sound of a step-back three ripping through the net, or the chirp of your opponent's sneakers squeaking after a nasty crossover. Except maybe the roaring of the crowd after a perfectly executed Eurostep. But those moves don't just happen overnight. You have to put in the work. Countless hours of practice, relentless dedication, and endless preparation. At Kia, we've mastered a move of our own, and it's called the Telluride. Its available 3.8-liter V6 engine didn't just magically appear. We built it from the ground up. And how do you think it got 291 horsepower? Luck? Think again. You don't put on a performance this unstoppable without sweating every detail. So the next time you see someone splash a 30-foot fadeaway, remember how hard it is to make it look so easy. And the next time you're behind the wheel of the Kia Telluride, be inspired by the way it glides so effortlessly. Kia is the official vehicle of the Miami Heat. Kia, movement that inspires.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Blazers 34, Heat 32, 6:01 remains here in the final game in Vegas for the Miami Heat. We're visiting with Malik Allen. It's Amy Adelbert and Jason Jackson. Malik, we got some new stuff coming down the avenue. Let's see if you're going angry old man on the lawn or if you're embracing all of this change. We'll start off with something that Amy and I will talk about at halftime. It's this in-season tournament. So now we've got these November games that'll have a little extra sauce, a little extra meaning, and then some knockout games. And then possibly in December we all get to come back here because your boss likes to compete at anything.
Yeah.
So if we add competition to something, I'm assuming Smo will have that in the meeting for you all as you have your retreat coming into the next season as a goal to win the inaugural NBA Cup. In all seriousness, your view of adding this to the docket?
I like it. I do. There's always change, right? And ways to tweak and try to add to the game. Obviously, it's been something that was implemented in European basketball, but I like it. I think anytime you can add to the competition level and keeping it high as much as possible throughout an NBA season, it's great. It keeps guys engaged, and it keeps us engaged. And I think again, it adds value to to every game. There's meaning to every game now. And for the teams who want to take it seriously, and like you said, for us, I mean, every time we get a chance to compete, it's we take every game seriously. So
Sure.
I think it's a good opportunity to try something and add to the league for sure.
You're not going to break Jackson's heart if he has to come back to Vegas for a couple of days in December.
I'm sure of that.
Let me ask you about the Coaches Challenge. You guys are 14-5 this season, but obviously now with the new little wrinkle that if you're right, you get it back. And I know you don't get the timeout back, but do you think there was a lot of times in the regular season this year where you wanted to use it early because you knew you were probably going to, but you save it for the end? Or how do you think that changes the dynamic at all for you guys in particular?
You know what I mean? I'm not. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I do like the idea because I know that there were times where it felt like, we win this challenge. You have a challenge, you win it, you should get you should get it back. It's not just, regardless, shouldn't just go away. That felt right to me. I think to us. So, but I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see once we get into the preseason, and hopefully we have an opportunity to sort of play around with it. Because I know, like for us, we like to try to hold on to them. And we obviously this year we played a lot of very, very tight competitive games. And those you anticipate that, so you want to try to hold and keep every advantage as much as you possibly can for as long as you can. In order to try to win, to win a possession. So, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm not totally sure. I haven't, but I think it's going to be, I like the idea of it for sure.
Stepping to the line for a couple free throws at the 3:17 mark here in the second quarter is Orlando Robinson, leading all scores, if I'm not mistaken, with 13 points. Our screen only showing the players on the floor tonight here. Thomas and Mac. Blazers up 44-38. The last one that is coming out of the lab is this attempt to pull the flop out of the game. And people have been snarky and all slick-mouthed with it impacting the Miami Heat. I like to tell them, no. Miami Heat players take hits. Those aren't flops. But flopping is in the game, and it seems like New York wants to take it out. Your view of how that's going to be adjudicated, particularly early when it's most, intentful by everyone around the league.
Yeah, I'm curious to see because I remember, watching. I think it was the first game of Sacramento Summer League, and I think it was the Lakers and Saturday. I can't remember who was playing, but I was watching, and they called it, and it was so close. For a guy who was trying to take it, he's trying to take a hit, but they called a flop, and it just seemed like some, I don't know, the gray area, but it's going to be interesting to see how it, there's going to be some pressure, I think, on some refs. Because, I'm watching from the TV, so it's different, but it just seemed like a guy was trying not to flop. He was trying to take an actual charge, you know what I mean? But so we'll see how it evolves. Obviously, it'll take some time to, in real time, get some of those things right, and try to trim the fat on some of the calls and the reads. But, again, the league, I know that they put eyeballs on these things for, it's not just a it's not just a gut reaction to something. They look at it for a while, So, I think that they're gonna look at it and grow with it, and hopefully it does clean some things up, especially end of game. That's how I kind of look at things. End of game, where you get guys try to gain an advantage, at the end of the game on the other side of things, and it could be helpful in that way, where guys got to play some situations at the end of the game more honestly, not try to steal possession.
Blake, we really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Enjoy the rest of your time here in Vegas. Miami Heat assistant coach Malik Allen with us here on the Miami Heat audio experience, with the Heat trailing with 3:01 before the halftime break, 44-40. The Heat is on the radio.
Have you heard about El Car Wash, the official car wash of the Miami Heat? For as low as $19.99 per month, you can enjoy unlimited express car washes at all of our 20-plus locations from Miami through Palm Beach. If you are on your way to work, having a night on the town, or just want the refreshing feeling of a sparkly clean car, come through one of our state-of-the-art car washes for a high-quality, fast, and fun finish. Visit elcarwash.com to find a location nearest you. El Car Wash. Always drive clean.
Rapper Black is bringing his Since I Have a Lover tour on Wednesday, November 22nd. Dembo superstar El Alfa is back at Kaseya Center for his Leyenda del Dembo tour on Saturday, November 25th. And Latin music star Mike Towers is performing at Kaseya Center for his La Vida es Una tour Sunday, November 26th. These and many other events are on their way to Kaseya Center. Visit KaseyaCenter.com for a complete list or to purchase tickets.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
The Heat narrowing the gap as we head toward halftime. Trailblazers 44, Heat 41. We were talking with Coach Allen a moment ago about his perceptions, and he's open-minded about the in-season tournament. With the help of Richard Jefferson, he's been kind enough to join the audio experience today. We'll explain it and then give you our thoughts on it coming up at halftime.
The one that's making me a little bit nervous, to be honest with you, is the flopping, because particularly with Miami, they take a lot of charges. Ranked number 2 in the league this year and took 91 charges. I'm not saying that they weren't legit, but, when you're the team that's kind of scouted as taking charges, you hope that doesn't change the view, or that the bias of that they do, because I do believe that, of course, Miami's a team that puts defense as top of priority, and tough defense and rotating and all that stuff. But it is the one thing that kind of makes you wonder, like, you hope that doesn't come into conversation as man with the hand one.
Who was that leading the break? Right in the middle of the floor, Orlando Robinson with the perfectly timed bounce pass to give Williams an opportunity, a.k.a. man.
Look at you talking
to get the
about
right hand and left side.
Look at you talking about the big with
Somebody's
the smile
got it today.
on your face.
You've been negligent, derelict in your duties on this day. And 47-44, Heat trail. Make it 47-45 after Williams makes the free throw. Robinson leading the way with 15 points. DeVoe doing the same thing on the other side. Now, the in-arena announcer here, Thomas Mack, says Michael DeVoe. And I like saying DeVoe just because I'm a big DeVoe fan, New Edition fan. So I'm going to keep it there. So somebody walks up here and tells me to change it. Bell Biv DeVoe. Now you know. Hey, slick blow. You know what I'm saying.
I believe my favorite character on True Blood was also a DeVoe.
That's true. Down there in the bayou of the Mississippi. You know what I mean?
Oh, the vampires.
Louisiana.
Yeah,
no, that's where it was based. Absolutely. I was a big True Blood fan. Blazers 47, Heat 45. At the line, Ibo Baji out of Senegal signed a two-way on Thursday. Happy two-way to him.
He's 7'1". And
we'll figure out what he can do.
And I'm thinking of an earlier possession where he tried to defend on the perimeter. He can move, and I'm already seeing a guy that it's good in his length. You can't teach that size at all.
I only had one Portland Blazers question, actually two, obviously, one I'm not going to deal with.
I was going to say.
Because I love my gig.
But
the other one is, what is Scoot's real first name? And I found it. It is Sterling. Sterling Henderson. I'd go with that. Lean into Sterling. It's precious metal.
Yeah,
Scoot.
Scoot's good too. He's got it's
He probably thought it was nerdy. But, when he starts stacking up these dollars and buying some candelabras, be careful because that stuff oxidizes. You got to really put a little elbow grease into those with a proper product and cloth. Little knowledge for the people brought to you by your boy.
Well, let me drop another one. While we're talking about names here, this one caught me. Jaime Echenique.
Oh, there's a whole thing there, right?
He's the only Jaime to ever get minutes in the NBA. He played 3 minutes for the Wizards on December 30th, 2021.
Wasn't there a pick way back? Oh,
there was a pick, but he didn't play.
I was a baby back then.
I believe
Jaime Pena.
I call me crazy, but
by the way, there was a 6th round in '82. Go ahead.
Call me crazy, but I think there may be a new record holder for the name Jaime in the association.
Oh, but this got to be a take foul because Man was ready to take off and throw it down. There was a shot. Oh, that's the tough one. And there's another thing to kind of tidy up in the association.
Table, how did that go off?
Well, but if there's a shot clock violation and the defense has now transitioned to offense, let's go.
You got
for the most time, I think most crews do a good job with that during the regular season. But every now and then, there's transition that's halted, and that's not what the league wants.
Do you know what that was? That was the table protecting their home rim because Man was on a one-on-one with nothing in the way.
For those that have not seen the feature on the social media platforms for the Miami Heat, Alondas Williams out of Wake Forest by way of Oklahoma, undrafted last season, making his way through, has been deemed Man. I've not gone into the why part because I probably don't want to know the answer, but
it's just because they said there's like two. I mean, he's strong. He can. The way I think it was when he dunked it in practice, they looked at us and told us.
I still it didn't.
He's not a man. He's a man.
It didn't register. Like I felt we could go further. I think I should have been consulted. I'm super creative. I could have helped out.
I like that.
This Man, that's it.
I think it's
more than a man. I'm a fan of Man. Anything. It's there. Getting snarky at the end of Summer League. Blazers 52, Heat 45, 6.5 remaining until halftime. All right, if you dig it, I'll dig it. How about that?
Oh, you gotta dig it.
All right.
Yeah, man.
A little bit more on Williams since we have a moment. He made his first start on Friday in Summer League, so a couple starts now against Denver. 7 points, 2 assists in 22 minutes. But you just love that man came in from Oklahoma, got into the ACC, and was the ACC Player of the Year. I just came into the conference one year, boom, here I am. Love me. Wrap your arms around me. As he averaged just under 20 points in the conference during the 2021-22 season.
Second leading scorer. And I like that. I like when the Player of the Year isn't just the leading scorer, right? Because that's always kind of the easy way to go. Right. There it's telling you there's other stuff that he's doing. And something tells me that if he's down there with the Miami Heat jersey on, he can probably defend too. I don't know if they're signing guys up that aren't willing to at least make the commitment on that end of the basketball on the court.
Between Wake Forest and Summer League with the Miami Heat, he was on a two-way with the Nets.
Yeah.
And got some opportunity. Didn't see a lot of action on that squad. Played like in the middle of the season and I believe in one game. So looking for a place to really develop as a 3-ball splashes down from the right corner pocket from Man.
And he was highly contested too. Wow.
And at the buzzer, it's a miss from the hand of Portland Trail Blazers. And our halftime, total 52-48. Heat trail by 4. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the Heat Halftime Report. Amy and I break down the upcoming debut of the NBA in-season tournament. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
You love watching, following, and sometimes even playing the game. Don't ever let an injury keep you from it. Let the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of the Miami Heat, get you back to what you love. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information. Doesn't it feel good to know you can go where the pros go?
Metro Group Miami, corporate partner of the Miami Heat, the home of Metro Signs and Metro Wraps, has been South Florida's business choice for quality signs and graphics for over 34 years. No sign is too big or too small for the experts at Metro. We bring brands to life. Call us today, 954-983-6662, 954-983-6662. Visit MetroGroupMiami.com to learn what we can do for you. Metro Group Miami, your everything team.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Hey, Heat Nation, the best way to celebrate a Heat win is with Papa John's Pizza. Because when the Heat win, you win too. The day after a Heat win, get 50% off online orders at regular menu price when you order from the Papa John's app or papajohns.com using the promo code HEATWIN. And don't forget to join Papa Rewards for exclusive items and score points towards free pizza with every order. Papa John's, the official delivery pizza of the Miami Heat. Offer valid for online orders only. Not valid with other discounts. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and we all know that an important part of winning a championship is getting there. And as the Miami Heat pursues another championship year, they trust the Good Greek to get them there. And when it's time for you to move like the Miami Heat and call Good Greek Moving and Storage. Whether it's local or long distance, go to goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, the official movers of the Miami Heat.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Summer League halftime report on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Brought to you by Amarant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC. By the UPS Store. Be unstoppable. And by Ticketmaster, official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
All right, everybody, the NBA first ever in-season tournament is now official. But how does it work? Like this. First up is group play. All 30 teams will be split into 6 groups, 3 from the East, 3 from the West, with a random draw based on last year's regular season records. Each team in a group plays each other 1 time, a total of 4 games, 2 at home, 2 on the road. Now, those games happen Tuesdays and Fridays in November, so set your calendar. Basically, these regular season NBA games also count as tournament games. Now, in each group, the team with the best group play record after those 4 games, they're moving on. The team with the next best record in each conference, those 2 are the wild cards. Always watch out for the wild cards. Now, we get to the knockout round. 8 teams, single elimination, and you know what that means. Win and move on, or lose, and you're out. And the last 4 teams standing, guess what? You're headed to Vegas, baby. That's right. In Las Vegas, the semifinal battles will get us to the championship game on December 9th. 2 teams in a winner-take-all final to be named champion and be awarded the first ever NBA Cup. Come on now. Look, there's a lot to look forward to this season. Players on new teams, rookies new to the league, and teams just looking to make some noise. And the NBA in-season tournament is going to be a can't-miss, must-see, high-stakes, high-level competition. And if you're a hoops head just like me, I promise you, you're going to love it.
Richard Jefferson, thank you very much for your service. Amy Adalbert, I absolutely love the in-season tournament, the meaningful games in November, the trip that we're inevitably going to take, maybe not this year, no, definitely this year, maybe every year because Spo loves competition, to the semifinal and final that'll be held right here in Las Vegas.
I agree. It's interesting. When the news came out, I was actually surprised to hear how many people weren't a fan of it. I mean, it means maybe a couple games in October and especially November are going to really, really mean something to certain organizations. And this is an organization, how many times you cannot use all your fingers and toes, has Spo said in the last 2 or 3 months, this group loves to compete. So I do believe that there are certain teams that are probably
probably going to thrive a little bit more. Then the pools come out, and we've got Milwaukee, the Knicks, Washington, and Charlotte. So, of course, immediately I'm like, oh, we're going to make a run for it. And so I'm excited about it. It's something that the WNBA has actually been doing for a while now, the Commissioner's Cup, and I find that those games have a little extra oomph to them. So I'm looking forward to it.
The in-season tournament receives the NBA Cup. Let's put the first one, lock it in at 601 Biscayne Boulevard. We're back with the third quarter. Adalbert and Jackson on the Miami Heat audio experience after this.
Buying a Yamaha Wave Runner has never been easier. With the largest stock in South Florida and with special offers during the Perfect Choice sales event, quick and easy financing and APR as low as 3.99% for 60 months. What are you waiting for? 2022 models are arriving. Jet Ski of Miami, your go-to dealer for anything Yamaha. Jet Ski of Miami and Fisherman's Boat Group, your Yamaha Marine Superstore for over 60 years. JetSkiofMiami.com. Main retail prices not include prep, freight, or tax. Local APR rate on price based on Tier 1 qualifying APR. See dealer for details.
At the UPS store, not every small business needs the same thing, but every small business needs something. We're the scanning and faxing store, the printing store, the packing and shipping store,
I need my designing place and my printing place to be the same place store.
We're the one-stop, right around the corner, everything you need so you can be unstoppable store. The UPS store. Be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Imagine a bank that is always in your court, one that sees their customers as part of a team with the common goal to achieve your dreams. Well, imagine that. There is one. We're Amerant. We're ready to help you wherever you are in life, and just as importantly, wherever you want to go. Because at Amerant, we want you to live a life beyond what you could imagine. Amerant, official bank of the Miami Heat. Member FDIC.
The season is here, and so is your chance to experience all the thrilling Heat basketball live and in the stands. As the official marketplace of the NBA, Ticketmaster has got you covered with the largest selection of seats of any ticketing marketplace. Do not miss any of the action. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Heat.
Injured in a crash? You deserve Anajar and Levine. We stand up to the big insurance companies. They want you to settle for a fraction of what your case is worth, but we'll fight to get you the maximum money for your injuries. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference. Call me, Glenn Levine, at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Main office, Fort Lauderdale.
Third quarter underway here in Las Vegas. Trailblazers up 52-48, 9:36 on the clock here in the third quarter. It's Amy Adalbert, it's Jason Jackson, and the honor and pleasure is ours to say good evening, some places good afternoon here, to Mr. 305. Udonis Haslam, how nice of you to make your way out here to Vegas, my man.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be here?
You just started your retirement. You're allowed to do other things.
Oh, well, this is where it all started for me.
Amen.
I'll never forget, being one of these undrafted guys, trying to take advantage of the opportunity, and just playing, leaving it all on the line. So, I always take that with me. So I got a lot of respect for these guys, and I come and cheer these guys on. Kane, obviously Nico's not here, but I stay connected with those guys. Drew, spoke to Jaime, Rui, all these guys. So all the guys that I'm connected with, I just want to see these guys do well.
UD, if you could offer advice, especially to the newer faces that we haven't seen yet, they try to make a name for themselves or at least earn another look, a training camp invite, but then also showing that they can fit in the system and be a role player. What would you say to them?
I mean, the reality of it is, I think, you only get so many minutes and so much time out there, but you're playing for not just the Miami Heat. We would love to have you here. We would love for this to be, your first thought. But the reality is there's a lot of other eyes looking at you when you're out here. So I would tell these guys that just leave it all on the line. Don't really get discouraged or focus on the minutes. Maximize your minutes and your opportunities because you never know who's watching.
For somebody who's on the entire game is right across from you, Karan Butler. I saw you go have a little chit-chat with him at halftime. What do you hope he gets the most from this experience?
I was just congratulate that last play right before the end of the half was a great play. I love to see him draw things up, and he looks real comfortable and he's having a good time and enjoying himself over there.
Portland 52, Miami 50, 8:47 here in the third quarter of the final game of the Vegas portion of Summer League. Oh, here comes Orlando. I see. You want to call it? Here's Peterson right away. They were going to do it right in front of you.
You see that? As soon as you tried to get me to call it, it was a turnover, so that means I shouldn't be calling it.
We'll get you some time on TV nonetheless, whenever you're ready. You spent some time with your brother. I had a chance to sit down with Dwayne Wade this morning to get his Hall of Fame interview for the Inside the Heat special nailed down, so there's no chasing him down in those couple days in Springfield coming up in August. How special is it going to be a part of that with him and the entire organization for this Hall of Fame induction?
It's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to it. Anytime I get an opportunity to give my brother his flowers and celebrate, the amazing career that he had, I want to take full advantage, as we come to, this point in our lives and, cherish those moments even more. You know what I'm saying? Those memories and those opportunities that we had and things that we were able to accomplish are priceless. So, I'm looking forward to the opportunity. He deserves it.
We're talking about one of the greatest in the past, and I want to ask you about the new face, Jaime. I thought one of the best things that I've heard him say in the last couple of weeks here was that he spoke to you, and I think that made a lot of people happy because losing, I know your voice is still around, but just not in the same position, but knowing that you've already talked to him, and what are your thoughts of him very early on?
Yeah, he definitely texted. We spoke a couple of times. We even kept, in contact throughout Summer League in Sacramento and here, and understanding, he's a little banged up right now, but, he's definitely a culture guy. I think it was a great pickup. And I'm looking forward to being more involved and also just continue the process with him. I stay connected to all these guys, with, the way everything is today, you only have FaceTime away. So, Nico, all these guys are hearing my voice, on the regular.
As Kane knocked down a mid-post jumper right in front of Udonis's face.
Yeah, Kane. That's one of my guys.
Absolutely. Your view of what he's been able to do this summer, he's definitely bet on himself, and the organization left himself open for a decision.
Get on the floor. Yeah.
As Kane does just that, as you call it. What's your hope for him after we leave here?
Oh, man, he's another Heat guy. Here we go. Take off, Kane. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Behind the
yes,
neck
sir.
To get that
yes,
done
sir.
for Udonis.
Yes, sir.
As a Heat take the lead.
He's one of the guys who spent some of the most time with me. He's one of the guys who I'm most close with. Him in Orlando. Throughout the season when I'm not getting that work and I'm not playing on a regular. Okay, it's no coincidence while I'm on the mic, both of my guys get one. Okay. So these guys, when you talk about, what I give, to these guys, these are two guys that have given so much to me, throughout last season. And, what you saw in the last game was just a product of having an opportunity to work with these guys every day. And, sometimes I win, but sometimes they kick my butt. So, those are the guys who, I become the closest with because I spend the most time with those guys.
Udonis, we're not going to hold you locked down the entire quarter here, but we do want to take a break. Just 1 minute. Come back. Amy's got one more for you.
No problem.
Right?
Thank you.
Appreciate you. It's Udonis Haslem with us, creating good mojo for your Miami Heat as they have the 4-point lead, 56-52 at the 6:46 mark here in the third quarter. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
There's nothing sweeter than the sound of a step-back three ripping through the net, or the chirp of your opponent's sneakers squeaking after a nasty crossover. Except maybe the roaring of the crowd after a perfectly executed Eurostep. But those moves don't just happen overnight. You have to put in the work. Countless hours of practice, relentless dedication, and endless preparation. At Kia, we've mastered a move of our own, and it's called the Telluride. Its available 3.8-liter V6 engine didn't just magically appear. We built it from the ground up. And how do you think it got 291 horsepower? Luck? Think again. You don't put on a performance this unstoppable without sweating every detail. So the next time you see someone splash a 30-foot fadeaway, remember how hard it is to make it look so easy. And the next time you're behind the wheel of a Kia Telluride, be inspired by the way it glides so effortlessly. Kia is the official vehicle of the Miami Heat. Kia, movement that inspires.
Time for more Hot Heat Summer League action on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat making a push fueled by the captain, up 56-52, 6:46 remains here in the third quarter. Let's pause 10 seconds, allow stations to identify themselves. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
This copyrighted broadcast.
The Miami Heat play here. WQAM Miami. WPOW HD2 Miami. WKIS HD2 Boca Raton. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Visiting with Udonis Haslem. Amy, I know you had one for the captain before we let him out of here.
Yeah, I did have one more question. I was always curious, especially last month or so. I wanted to ask you about your other teammate, Bam Adebayo, and through your lens, because I thought in the playoffs he really just didn't get enough of the credit for what he was being asked to do on both ends of the court. I mean, guarding all different types of bodies, and then on the other end, the activity and the way that he consistently just had to be a strong guy out there. What did you see from your position of him?
I think if you don't really know the game of basketball, which most people don't, you never really understand, how important a guy like Bam Adebayo is and what he brings to the table. This league is all about matchups. You're facing, 70, 80 pick and rolls. Let's go, Kane.
Here we go.
Let's go, Kane. And one. That's all right.
And the nice follow by Williams.
I forgot what I was saying.
You were loving Bam.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah. So, to this game is about, matchups, and you're going to say 70, 80 pick and rolls. To have a guy like Bam who can switch, pick and rolls and take you out of, matchup situations. And then also can go down on the other end and put you in matchup situations where you can be successful. And, by the way, he's got to get his 20. And he's got to get his 10, 12, 13 rebounds, That on a night-to-night basis, that's a lot to ask from a guy. And we got, a guy that does that for us consistently, and not just consistently, but one of the best in the game at it, So, I'm thankful and I'm looking forward to, the next phase for him, which is, his growth as not only a player, but as a leader.
Udonis, before we take the headsets from you, just let Heat Nation know how did you soothe yourself after the defeat in Denver? Did you take something as Robinson gets the attention of my man? That's 19 points now to go with 6 rebounds and 4 assists for Orlando Robinson. What was the key to you getting off the pain and misery of the defeat in Denver?
I mean, I went straight into dad mode, man, and honestly, my kids been keeping me busy. In the gym every day with my young fella that plays basketball. Between the baseball tournaments. Yeah, Drew. In the gym every day, with my young fella, and then the baseball tournaments and the other basketball tournaments with my other son, and my oldest is in college. I have a lot of time to make up for and catch up. So I'm straight in that mode right now.
Drew drawn out because Drew Smith, working across the lane from left to right, spins it off the glass.
Another Heat guy, man.
For a little and one action.
Another Heat guy.
Great to have him back on a two-way, right?
Yes, sir. Another guy who's stuck in there with us, and when we've needed him to be available, whether it's on a night where Drew, you got to start, what I'm saying, or it's a night where we need 10, 12, 13 minutes or whatever, impactful minutes. He's been able to do that for us.
Captain, we appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Udonis Haslem with us here on the Miami Heat audio experience. It's Amy Adelbert. It's Jason Jackson. So we're not going to have that a lot in the days ahead. Hopefully he'll swing by the suite level, hop on the audio experience, or maybe the set for post-game or pre-game. But I cherish moments like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to stay away. And I don't think anybody wants him to either.
Not at all.
I mean, he has had such an important voice in that locker room for so many years. I don't think it was a coincidence. And by the way, everybody right now out there is having a nice little run here. I don't think that's a coincidence. You laugh, but he's front row cheering him on. I mean, his presence in this organization is so important. So I'm excited to continue to see him around. I don't think he's going too far.
2 offensive rebounds on a possession that ends up in a trip for Orlando Robinson to go to the free throw line.
The one thing I wanted to ask, but I know gracious of his time, is get a hot Starbucks drink.
Oh, listen, that man's a franchise owner.
Oh,
all right. So he's got a couple.
Starbucks.
And Starbucks doesn't hand out a whole lot of individual franchises, but
whoa,
yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know there were other ones. I didn't know.
Magic Johnson and Udonis Haslem. Most of them, it's probably well over 80%.
Yeah, I mean,
owned by Starbucks.
I've had a cold Starbucks in my hand almost the entire time. My point was the hot one, which is incredible, but I can't wait to get back to Florida and not pay $10 for it.
Stop by one of UD's, John.
My points are through the roof right now.
Both go for Robinson, who's now up to 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Jumper, left wing, doesn't go for Portland. Rebound by Smith. Up the right side to Kane. Lob inside, gets blocked up as he was trying to connect with Daniels on a throwdown at the rim. But a bit of body banging at the apex. And I feel like that should be a shooting foul. What else was he going to do? After he caught that thing, what was he going to do? Throw it down. Outside out of bounds. Daniels into Kane to Robinson. Gets it to Smith on the run. Got it. Nothing but net as he exploded off the bottom of the circle on the right side.
No, Miami in the second half is attacking. I mean, a lot of attempts from in the paint, and that's probably by design. They're generating some great opportunities.
Heat 66, Portland 54, 3:17 remains in the third. Another turnover. And is that not take, or was that because it was in there? I mean, Drew Smith got knocked down, flipped it over his head for transition action.
Well, it got there too. That's the crazy part of the whole thing. If they don't call that foul, that's a wide open layup for Jamal Kane.
They're going to call that a foul on the floor. And I mean, we are having a change of all 5 for Portland right now.
I've seen 2. That could be going. That could be what do you call when you break down the film after, or our third side coaching.
Oh, when you're
submit those to third side. We'd like to submit some summer league games.
Referee school?
Yes.
Referee university?
We'd like to take some of these summer league looks.
Oh, the summer league head coach for Portland, Jonah Hurst, who changed the entire 5. He wants a whole different vibe coming in here with the Heat up 66-54 with under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
There's another guy that started in the video room, by the way, with the Chicago Bulls in 2013.
Both started something, didn't it?
How many times now have you looked down and saw that? And I think it's incredible because there's something about the growth of learning, right? Like just the embracing the process.
Simply creating another path to the bench that probably just didn't exist 30 years ago. 66-54. We got a timeout on the floor. 2:46 remains in the third quarter. Heat out front. This is Miami Heat Audio Experience.
Rapper Black is bringing his Since I Have a Lover tour on Wednesday, November 22nd. Dembo superstar El Alfa is back at Kaseya Center for his Leyenda del Dembo tour on Saturday, November 25th. And Latin music star Mike Towers is performing at Kaseya Center for his La Vida es Una tour Sunday, November 26th. These and many other events are on their way to Kaseya Center. Visit KaseyaCenter.com for a complete list or to purchase tickets.
When it comes to basketball in Florida, Valley Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
Kaboom! He's on fire!
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Valley Sports team before and after each game for the Heat Live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Valley Sports Sun, the Valley Sports app, and Valley Sports Plus.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
Amy Alibert, Jason Jackson live from Thomas and Mack. The Big Jump here in Summer League. Right adjacent is Cox Pavilion, where the Heat have played the majority of their games. But finishing up strong, figuratively and literally, with the 66-54 lead over the Blazers, who really controlled the first half.
Yeah, they came out much more aggressive. We talked about them touching the paint on offense, but also defense. The intensity's gone up quite a bit for Miami as well. Not surprised. Started the show by talking about this. This is the last opportunity. And really, I would go to the fact that I understand there's a couple 2 ways Orlando has his standard. This is every time you're on this court, it is you are auditioning, you are keeping your role, you're increasing your stock, you're trying to get an invite for camp. I mean, every single guy who's out there playing is not doing it just for fun. There's an absolute reason why they're out there.
So the Heat have another 2-way, right? You create a 4th-5, by the way, for camp. You want to get up to 20 because the reps they're intense in training camp with the second attempt tipped back in by Drew Smith. I'm glad he got credit because there are a lot of people tipping that thing back in after his miss. Heat up 68-56. Smith now with 13 points, Another turnover by Portland. Kane. Oh, he tried to throw it up top, but it got swatted away. Orlando Robinson was ready to do it. 2-on-2. Portland runs into the Heat defense, and there'll be a foul on Daniels as he was back trying to stop the flood. But when you're building that next group, it oftentimes comes from here. There may be eyeballs that Miami Heat front office had on other guys that performed well, that didn't get opportunities, but it's a quick scramble to get what is called an Exhibit 10 contract, which is an invitation commitment to training camp. That third five now is kind of set when you think about it, in the sense of players that are either favored from the G League experience last season to the two-ways.
Right, and a lot of those Exhibit 10 players and either carve out a spot, but really a lot of them end up on in the G League. But that's where they want to be, right? Because that's how you stay here and in front of eyes. The best way is Drew Smith with a hard take to the lane and a big swat, but that's a foul.
And Baji was there to say hi and hello with a full swing on Drew Smith. That's 7'1", going against about 6 feet. We'll say 6'3". That's what the program says for Drew Smith. But he's smiling and headed to the free throw line.
That's good. He's smiling because that was a hard hit. I'm so happy that Drew Smith is back with the Heat. And remember last season, Jax, how the two-way position was getting waived a lot, depending on because the Miami Heat were so depleted at times, they needed a point guard. He was getting it, right. And then he'd have to get waived so that they'd have to sign up another guy at a different position.
Or somebody got healthy,
right? And so that's tough when you're not doing anything wrong, but it's just the business of it. And then Brooklyn kind of snatched him, which I wasn't surprised with.
Of course.
When you watch his game, he can just go in there and run an offense, right? And sometimes at the point guard position, that's all you need.
He got that time in October, and his first NBA game was against the Portland Trailblazers. So nearly full circle.
I believe, was that at home when Josh Hart hit the corner three to win, like right at the buzzer? I remember that. It was tough.
Speaking about threes, top of the arc splashdown from the big fella, Orlando Robinson, who is comfy up top right there. Listen, different tempo, different personnel when October and November gets here, but the confidence that man is building right now with his top of the arc splashdown will bode well for his minutes per game increase that he desires coming down the avenue.
Well, that was another guy who Orlando Robinson played in 31 games for Miami last season, only started one, but he has the game high offensive rebounds. He had 7 in a game. So I thought also that was another guy that when he had his opportunity in minutes, I mean, he went in there, he set screens, he got some big boards.
As he has it, kicking ahead into the hands of Massner, who thinks better of working by himself. Gets to Smith, leaves it for Robinson. Little bunny from the bottom of the circle, kisses off the glass for 2 more.
And a fist bump from UD.
25 points on the board for Orlando Robinson, who's a rebound away from a double-double. He came here and went to work, did he not?
Well, this was the business that you wanted in this game for Miami. Look up, Jamal Cain's got 15. Drew Smith has 15, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Orlando's got 25 and 9. These are the guys that you're going to go out there, you got to take care of business.
A shot clock violation, that's a play on. Daniels met at the apex by Murray. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line. Chris Murray, the twin brother of Keegan Murray, who stayed an extra year at Iowa and got busy, by the way. He was like, yeah, Keegan, you head on out of here. You get to the league, and I'm going to go ahead and start all 29 games. Scored 20 points a game, third in the Big Ten. And he was named all Big Ten first team. So maximizing that time without the twin with him.
Miami actually saw Sacramento in the California Classic about 2 weeks ago. And Keegan Murray
chanting his name like it was a regular season game.
Right in Sacramento. But I thought it was awesome that he played, but great for Miami because they're playing against a guy who has had a very good NBA start to his career as well.
Miami lost that game 95-83, but started in California with a nice win, 107-96, 2-2 now in the Vegas portion of Summer League, looking to push it a little bit further. About to spend some time here with, I believe, Kassim. I don't know if he can hear us just yet. I'm taking a peek, trying to find out where he is. Standing by. I see. See, we got it. Amanda's got the headset. Now we're just waiting for the coach to make their way over.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, we got you now. What's
My
up,
bad.
Kazoo?
I'm sorry. I've
That's
been
all
here.
right. It's all good, man. Hey, listen, how about this run for these guys? Now, Udonis is going to take credit because he was our guest when everything turned in the right direction. But who gets – you lay down the appropriate credit led by Orlando Robinson in this second half pushback.
Well, UD with his energy, we definitely followed his lead as he came here and helped us get over that hump. But, the guys went out there, played defense. We got out open to some open, easy buckets that really generated some good energy for us. So we just want to keep that up through the fourth quarter and see if we can finish this game strong.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask. I mean, win, lose, or draw, this is it for this group together here. And so in your own words, what would this final frame ending on a positive note look like?
Just a win. I think it's been a long summer league, so for us to finish with a win would be something good for all of us. Just going forward, I think we put in a lot of hard work, so we want to capitalize with a win here.
Kasip, we're doing everything we can to get on the dossier to see you in the Bahamas for training camp, my man.
Can't wait. I'll be there.
I know that's right. Appreciate
right.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, you got it. Kasip Powell, head coach of the Sioux Falls Sky Force. He's assistant coach during the summer, and the whole Sky Force squad is in place for training camp. I don't know if everybody knows that the basketball side for the Sky Force, all full-time employees of the Miami Heat. And so it is, you want to talk about same personnel, same playbook. Now, the decisions from game to game are up to Kasip and his crew, but, Spo's getting reports every single day on folks. And it's always great to talk to him about G League, because we like to spotlight down on the farm, if you will, here on the audio experience.
Well, I think that's how you really invest into the G League. And why would you have a team if you're not going to do it all the way out? When you see that the development, you look at some of the guys for the Heat, especially last season, that played in the Sky Force or in the G League. I mean, having that continuity is so important. I mean, there's so many good basketball players in the world, great ones, and it's hard to stick on an NBA roster. But if you can keep them in your system and in your program, you might lean on them pretty heavily in the near future.
Miami 79, Portland 61. Fifth and final game for both ball clubs, who finished just outside the semifinal portion of the bracket. 9:08 remains in this final contest. Amy and I just would like to have a 12th day here in Las Vegas, so we won't be hopping on the overnight flights back to paradise tonight.
I consider this 13th, by the way, because I consider the day you get here is day one, not day zero.
I'm not going to fight you in your Canadian math tonight.
If I'm here, it's
night.
day one. It's not day zero. I'm here.
So a quick dash to Miami for you, and then back north of the border. It'll be fun time.
We might be just not doing the triangle.
you changed your mind.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, now listen. I'm coming for a visit, a health check, if you will, to make sure that you're ready for season 2, because you get to come right out of the blocks, right after Hall of Fame, Adalbert family, General Buffalo area, Niagara Falls, other side. Get ready. I've been to Niagara Falls, I believe, 3 times in my life. So we never fall. It's the first time I'll be on the Canadian side.
Oh, gosh. Really?
Yeah.
No pressure. I'm going to call the mayor.
It's the first time as an adult.
Roll out
so
the red carpet.
Don't think you have to worry about all that.
Going to let my family know. Just Jack
food, libations, and let that man sleep. That's all I need. It'll be a good couple days. Hanging out with the Adalberts. A couple generations of Adalberts going to hang out, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. J-Jacks on the streets of Niagara Falls. We should probably shoot that. Can we bring the GoPro?
You bring the GoPro?
Amanda, you think we could take the GoPro on Jack's Takes Canada? Why not? She's making decisions. I love it.
Is it waterproof?
Don't even run this up the ladder.
Because I'm taking him right to the waterfall.
Oh, Maid of the Mist. You ever
Right
been on
to
that?
it.
You ever been to Canada, Amanda? You're allowed to join us. Go ahead, swing that thing down here.
No, I wish I would have gone in my days living in the Northeast, but I never made it over there. Although the Maiden Mist,
Maid of the Mist.
That was on my list that I never got to check off.
Got to do it. Now I hear Manso's coming up there. to. Is that still happening?
Will and family are coming, I think, next week. I'll be seeing them. Make sure, Amanda, by the way.
Amanda, grab the
never
boo
too
and head up
late.
north of the border.
Yeah, you
grab
know
the
somebody.
passports and the new cigars and head on up there. It's going to be great.
So much pressure.
Thank you for the invitation. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. Listen, I have the main line. Nobody loves me like Jules out of me. All right? Let's be honest.
The best thing is,
Let's be honest about your mom.
I've learned a couple things about Jackson. I know that he's not necessarily a dog-friendly guy.
No, I'm not staying at the house.
But my dog is going to love him. You're
Gus
gonna meet
is
him,
off the
though.
Jack's bus.
No, you're going to meet him.
Listen, I'll meet Gus. I'm forward to that.
And
He just
if we
can't
don't
be
get
in
a
my
good
face
reaction-
at 4 a.m. doing all that. I'll be at the hotel.
He's a
Be all
kisser.
right.
He's not a panter.
Okay, even more. Now I just got a Marriott upgrade. That just happened with that situation. Amanda, thank you. And appreciate you and Dr. Speaks, Arnold Jr., handling the business of coordinating the audio experience in Las Vegas. I hope you know that for the next decade, this will be your responsibility.
All right.
To be with us here. Look at you, you're like, I'm already grooming someone else for next summer.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Your hard work is appreciated. Miami 85, Portland 63, 7:30 to go here in Game 5. Portland with the 3-1 record, just missing the semifinal action. I mean, I think there were two or three undefeated teams. Was there 4?
I believe there's 2. Houston, who is going to punch their ticket to the final
Against Cleveland, correct?
Well, I think the second game is still being played.
No, that was right before. They
that
played
was
earlier.
Houston and Utah.
Okay, and the first one was at 1 o'clock local, so we're good. Trust me sometimes. I'm here to help.
Didn't realize you were so engaged.
Somebody had 3 hours of NBA radio at 7 local. Okay, so I'm locked in.
Oh, so Cleveland won by 3 in overtime.
How about that?
I know you
That
just
had to
love
be fun.
Cleveland so much these
Cleveland
days.
rocks. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. All right, my family lives 5 hours southwest of our visits to Cleveland. So those days are over. If they're coming to visit me, they'll try to rock the 90 minutes over to Indianapolis. But the joy that I get to have by calling ahead to Max Strus and having him set up dinner at some expensive joint that he's going to pay for the rest of his life is going to be fantastic. I only ask one thing of Max. Don't buy a house on the west side. Don't do it. I was an east side kid growing up. That's one Cleveland. Cuyahoga County has that to this day. East side, west side, it's a whole thing. But we're super happy for Max. And then our trips out to California to hang with Gabe. And the culture tree. Its roots are all over the association. And I'll tell you what, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, Josh Richardson and his return in the mix, the full circle, and the Nostradamus activity from Eric Spolster, who on their meeting when he was headed out as a part of the Jimmy Butler trade 4 years ago. It's funny how this works, Josh. I bet you there's a time we'll be sitting together talking about a reunion, and here it is.
Every single person from the organization, and especially in the last week or so being here with 12 to 13 days, every time that comes up, they're so happy and excited. And that's consistent. There's a wonderful article, the Tao of Poe, that came out. I want to say right around February.
Oh, from The Athletic.
Yeah,
The
in
Tao
The
of
Athletic,
Poe.
and there was. Oh, what did I say?
You see how I cleaned it up like a
Yeah.
partner? You shouldn't even referenced it.
Spoke.
I put some spackle on it.
Anyways, it starts off about a story about Spo and Josh Richardson.
In the
And
gym,
what
in
a
the middle
cool
of the night,
full
right? Or
circle.
something
It's
crazy.
a fantastic
So
article that, of course, he didn't tuck in it at all. It was just written so well. Well done. So
We'll hear from Spo coming up after the break. An encore presentation of our conversation with him earlier in Summer League. Felt like it was a month ago. It was 117 degrees today.
Well, you know what, Jax?
Seriously.
How crazy is this? Real quick before we get into the break here. Miami was playing in the NBA Finals about 32 days ago.
You've been keeping a solid count on that.
I've lost track a little bit, but it feels like, so long ago. Wow.
But here we are, dancing in the desert in the pale moonlight.
I'm not dancing.
91-69. It's early in the evening. We'll see. 5:24 remains in the final game of Summer League in Las Vegas when we come back Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra. This is the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat fans, Crazy Andy from the Miami Heat store with tonight's item of the game. Crazy Andy wants to thank you for listening to the Miami Heat audio experience. For your loyalty, I have a special item of the game deal just for you. From now until Tuesday, 10 a.m., you get half off Matchup Volume 2 shorts. Log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com and enter the promo code VEGAS. That's VEGAS, VEGAS, and you'll get 50% off Matchup Volume 2 shorts. I know you need a new pair of Miami Heat shorts, and this deal is just for you. But you better act fast because this offer ends on Tuesday, 10 a.m.
This is Jason Jackson with the Miami Heat, and I'm here to introduce you to Accordis, preferred partner of the Miami Heat. Accordis provides the latest technology to help us and many more enterprises like yours to thrive with their solutions for network, managed print, IT security, and more. They hold one of South Florida's largest authorized partner networks, partnering with Cisco, Microsoft, Samsung, LG, Xerox, Dell, HP, and dozens more. Accordis gives your business the fast and effective tech game plan it needs to continue to win. To start winning with us, contact Accordis today at 1-888-331-3134 or visit them at www.accordiscorp.com.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Heat 5-24 away from a victory here in Summer League to wrap things up. 2-2 record coming in to this battle against the Trailblazers, up 91-69 with 5:24 remaining in the contest. Perfect time to revisit our conversation with Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra earlier in Summer League. Listen, Coach, for all your years, as we move into your 28th season with the Miami Heat, this is the best. This is the lab. This is where these guys, both selected and then some guys chosen after the draft, get to show you and the other 29 teams, quite honestly, if this next step is going to be for them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is the lifeblood of our player development program. It starts here during the summer. It starts with the process right during the draft and after the draft, assembling this team. And we love it. We love every part of it. Just the feeling of guys going after their dreams, us being able to work with them, hopefully help them accomplish and reach their dreams. But these initial stages are always a lot of fun.
I'll ask you right away about Nico, because AC just came over and said you're going to put him at the point guard a little bit right here in Summer League. And we got excited about that. But really, what's kind of, you look at his growth and development over the year behind the scenes, but now you've seen him through the California Classic. You've had some opportunity in the first court here. What do you like about his development so far?
Well, there's a lot to like about his development so far. I mean, just in this game, in the first quarter, you see the rebounding, you see the off-ball awareness defensively, his ability to take a rebound off the glass and push it in transition. These are skills that are really tough to teach. He's got great vision, and then just visibly, doesn't he look just so much different? From last year, he looked like a kid, he looked like a teenager, as he should have. Yeah. But now he looks like a man, and it's a credit to all the work that he's put in the weight room, and the last 4 months have really been about drilling and working behind the scenes. But he needs this. He needs the practices, the games, as many minutes as he can get. He'll probably continue and play with the Serbian national team this summer, later this summer. So I think all of that is good.
Well, he is a grown man. He was 19 and now he's 20.
Right. But Karan really, prepared for this. He looks like a natural out there. And that's just a great joy to see.
I was going to ask you to actually dig into that a little bit. It's a full circle moment for him, right? I mean, he talked about it from playing for the Heat all these years, and then someone who just really loves coaching. He loves being a basketball coach. What's that like for you to kind of sit here and watch him out there doing his thing right now?
It really is amazing, that it does come full circle. Because, he and I used to work together when he first joined the Heat. I was an assistant coach, and we spent so much time on the court just working on player development, and we've always stayed in touch. It was pretty evident that he would have some kind of career post-playing in this game. He has so much to offer, and that could have been on the coaching side, the front office side, mentorship side, all of that. I think it's a tremendous fit for him on the coaching side because he's able to do so many things to be able to impact young players. He has a beautiful way of communicating, holding guys accountable, doing it in his voice and his way. And this is amazing to be able to see this, and 20 years later, from when we first met.
Spo, it takes me about 2 weeks to get my mind right whenever we're done. It's still not quite right because we all climb up to that top of the mountain and got to come down. What you said?
It's never right.
Okay,
Don't. His mind is never
That's
right.
fine.
I've learned a couple things.
I'm glad I threw that blob at the rim for you to throw down
Sorry.
with two hands right there.
I'm allowed to do that in Summer League.
But Smo, how does it work for you? How does the unwind from one work into the next? And when we go to the finals, obviously, you don't have a lot of time because you're right to the draft, free agency, and summer league.
Yeah, that's the blessing of having the opportunity to play so deep into June. Obviously, we're all still, hurting from the finals, and that's the way it should be. If you're a real competitor, it always helps when we're able to get right back to it. We'll all be able to get some time away, later after summer league. But the draft process and this process, it gives us life. It brings joy to us. And like I said earlier, we just love the opportunity to try to find and help the next wave of Heat guys and start to take on this big challenge, for next year as well. Yeah.
So many guys that we saw this year for Miami had to come to Summer League and put on a show and have their opportunity to earn the things that they did moving forward this organization. For you, what's the most exciting part? You see a handful of guys that are putting on the Heat name across their chest for the first time here, and it's got to be kind of exciting. You've seen the potential of identifying a player here and sticking with them. What do you think when you sit here and you're watching these guys for the first time in live action?
Yeah, it's just that feeling of hope for all of these players and the opportunity that this great association can provide. And they have great dreams, at this stage, and whether they're rookies or whether they're young veterans that are trying to work to get in this league, there's not much difference, from guys that anywhere from 8 to 15 on your roster to out of the league or in the G League. There's not much difference. So we like to get to know guys and try to find out about their character, their makeup, their fortitude. These are the things that we think help you, break through some doors, particularly when you have to do it in a different way, where you have not been drafted, maybe where you've had to take a different path. But it's okay. It's okay to have a different path, even if you've been dismissed by some people. I think our program has proven that you can still have not only a chance to make the league, but also have a big impact.
Head coach Eric Spoelstra with us here on the Miami Heat Audio Experience. We appreciate the time.
Okay.
The pleasure was ours, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Hope you enjoyed the encore presentation of Coach Smo. Heat up 93-74, 331 remains in Summer League. The Heat is on the radio.
What's the Anna Jar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anna Jar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Fort Lauderdale. When it comes to basketball in Florida, Valley Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
Kaboom! He's on fire!
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Valley sports team before and after each game for the Heat Live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Valley Sports Sun, the Valley Sports app, and Valley Sports Plus.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's Amy Adelbert. It's Jason Jackson. Many portions of the Miami Heat broadcast department as we unify and solidify our activities better than ever before. 93-76 in control with 2:44 to go until Vegas is through and Amy decides what part of the continent she wants to land in when we leave Las Vegas. Apparently that's still up in the air. But a wonderful tradition that we began last year that we'll have to, for the next decade, chronicle our visuals each year with a photo that we started last year. When we weren't teammates, we were friends and colleagues at the time.
Yeah, I was here covering the Raptors.
Yeah. Were we courtside in Cox Pavilion
That
for
was
that
in the
photo?
other one. The lighting was much better.
Well, I mean, the beautiful lighting that I carry just for your
Well,
photos.
it helped. It helped.
It's a key component.
It helped.
Absolutely. So now we got two down. Check out Twitter.
And actually,
at Amy Adelbert.
yesterday I was cleaning out small pictures. It was literally a year and 1 day that we took that picture
Since
last year. Yeah. So it's going to be almost like to the date every year, which is exciting.
We both look a little more fatigued in this year's photo. And I just think because, we're here, grinding, right? You go ahead. Let the people know.
Oh, it's
Audij. What did my man just say down there? It was Audij? That one's got to live somewhere. Audij. That's phenomenal.
But I look much more tired. You look great, Jax. You always do. You're made for TV and radio, but you glow.
Well, listen, I was blessed with this cherry wood skin, this mahogany kind of radiance that I only thank John Theodore and Evelyn Odella for getting together in that summer of 1971, doing what had to be done in that first year of marriage. I believe that was their first anniversary. Matter of fact, it's amazing how that all fell out for the Jacksons. It's my father's birthday is their anniversary, so you can just look at the map and see those two boys born in May. You know what the deal is. People right now count their fingers. September, October, November, bingo! 9 months later, there they are. Jason Todd.
Guys have good parties.
Jeff Tilson. Listen, at the height of the Jackson family experience, the progressive dinner was quite the thing.
You know what? We've gotten through 12 days here with keeping it pretty good and, not crossing any lines.
I'm giving you a history of my experience at your expense. 98-76, Heat over the Trailblazers. Somebody had the nerve to call a timeout.
Oh,
it's fantastic. We'll keep it here.
Well, that was for you.
To settle it back and take it easy. So let's run through this. It's going to be exciting when we get back to Miami. Bouye and Smith and Robinson going to be in the mix. I'm going to join John Crotty. We're going to see Drew Peterson. I think Exhibit 10 earning the two-way later, but, there's a two-way out there. And we'll see exactly what the deal is with Jamal Cain, who will be our post-game guest, get a feel for how he feels. These two experiences, these 7 games have gone, leading him to what I believe is a mutual decision, right? The team's got to say, hey, this is what we believe is in place for you. Either tomorrow or Tuesday they'll have that conversation, and then he's got to decide what he wants for him, and maybe some conversations with the agent about other observations of his abilities and current play.
Yeah, as we know, there's such a business side to it. But you're right. I think Drew Peterson was the one that really
of the invited guys.
Yeah, I mean, and let's not forget he started most of the, including the California Classic games. And I thought what was really important, what Caron Butler said about him, was that it's not because he's like scoring all these points.
Right.
He knows how to play a role. He knows how to play without the ball in his hands. There's so many little things, and I think that's important because that's where these guys are going to find themselves competing at times, right? Not always on the ball.
I'd like to see an invite at camp for Patrick Gardner. I'd like to see him develop, and it would be a G League scenario, but we'll take a look at that. And I'm rooting for Taylor Funk just so I can say it more.
I know you have a whole page
Uptown
of those.
Funk. I'm ready for that situation. But in all seriousness, Chase Audij, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at camp.
Absolutely not. The top thing on his scout is on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And we saw him at times full court in the opposition shorts, just giving his energy. And that always earns you at least an eyebrow around here, right? So, and I mean, he can score too. You saw him get down with the monster dunk. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him around as well.
Orlando Robinson did some things. There's still more to do and more to earn. But in speaking to him after game one, after that 36-11 hi hello he put down to start off Summer League here in Las Vegas, you can hear he wants more. Not just the opportunity to back up. Like he believes, I think he could be in the first 5, which is why he's showing, hey, I can create some room for Bam.
Well, that's like the healthy.
And by the way, if I don't, I can back up Bam and Kevin.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, you said Kevin's name recently about playing alongside
Kevin
Bam.
Love, sure.
And I thought that's a healthy thing, right? But what impresses me the most about Orlando is that he really hasn't seemed to mind embracing the process, where some that's hard. That's hard to do, right? It's hard. All these guys dream of being in the NBA and earning generational wealth for their families, but that doesn't happen immediately for everyone. Not everyone's a lottery pick, and you have to be willing to do the hard stuff every single day. And Orlando has. I mean, he's out there doing it. You can just look at him when he walks in the gym and see how much he's invested into his body. But I think also just embracing the different types of roles. And that's one of the reasons I love Summer League the most is he gets to be a leader here. He gets to step out and take threes consistently where, right, that you're playing alongside Jimmy and guys like that, the ball probably gravitates to their hands first, right? So,
And don't forget, Thomas Bryant was brought in here to be in the rotation.
Right. So, I mean,
right. So there's work to do.
But Orlando, I mean, he's a familiar face now to the Miami Heat and the organization, and I do believe that his performance here has meant a great deal for him.
The Heat are up over 100 points. Here's Peterson making it 101. And the defense has been sick in the second half. Let's note that Portland scored 24 points so far in the second half, with a big old number 7 in the third when Udonis was, just pumping everything the Miami Heat were doing on both ends of the floor. 101-76 with 39.9 remaining. Madman was ready to put on a show for you. That's the second time a whistle has stopped him from being able to get up and put some action together. And actually, he got called for the foul on that one as he was ripping the rock away. Man is on his body, on the backside of his arms.
He's done a nice job.
Triceps.
He's done a great job with his moments or his minutes tonight, this afternoon. No, it's tonight. It was a 5 p.m. tip.
Yeah, it's 6:47 local, nearly 10 o'clock back at the crib. I like the sound bath. You seem to doubt my ability to work through the time zones.
No, not at all.
Okay. You're just there. That was just a stop right there. 101-77, 30 seconds to go. 3-point attempt. Nothing but nylon right there for Audi, a.k.a. Aldigi, here in Las Vegas.
That's what it's about. Guys, a defender. But guess what? Stepping out and hitting shots, and he's taking that with 20 seconds left. Up.
Now almost, 7 of 9, by the way, from downtown for Summer League.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right?
For the Vegas portion.
So this is, are you talking about a 3 and D?
That gets you what's supposed to say? Make me want you, then make me play you.
Yeah.
We're watching.
Absolutely.
We're
Always
watching you, Chase.
Always watching.
Well, his level of watching. As the free throw bounces out for Mr. Butler. Trailblazer side. John Butler Jr. played 1 year at Florida State for our buddy Leonard Hamilton. Came into this game shooting 69% of the floor in Summer League. 104-78. 6 seconds remain. As Summer League comes to a close, this one belongs to the Heat. And the Miami Heat led by a wonderful performance once again by Orlando Robinson. And we'll stand by for a visit with Jamal Cain. As we know, Cain likes to go through the entire receiving line. But did you feel like the Miami Heat was that smothering during the third quarter? Just 7 points allowed?
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that UD was sitting right there. Again, you want to play for the Heat, you got to play a certain way.
Well, he was our guest, so I wasn't watching the score as much. I just knew things were going well for the Heat.
That intensity, that intensity jumped to a different level. And this is the way you want to end, right? As a coach, as a player, as everyone that's your lasting impression leaving Vegas on a good note, which not too many people get to leave Vegas on a good note. I'd say you're on that plane and it ain't feeling too great always.
Yeah, I'm in that scenario as it pertains to games of chance. Vegas won.
The night is young.
I did my best to do my duty.
The night is young.
Oh, you're trying to pull me back out there one more time?
Of course. You said game night.
Okay.
This was a game night.
Whatever you say. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome once again to the Miami Heat audio experience, my man, Jamal Cain. We're going to pull that microphone down. There we are, my man.
I'm trying to find you.
That's it. Here we are.
There you
right
go.
At the top,
okay.
section 104. Good to see you.
He just has to yell. He doesn't even need a microphone.
How about finishing strong in all of Summer League, California and Vegas. Your feeling about what you all want to do, particularly with that smothering defense in the third quarter to finish up strong?
CB, our head coach, just overemphasized us playing very hard for this last game, but just to end Summer League with a win. So we just all bought into that and just tried to use our defensive impact on this game.
Jamal, with your opportunity in Summer League, I think every time you get on the court, you get to get out there and play. You've got to learn something, get better or something. And this Summer League, to you, what has this meant in terms of your own development and growth?
Development and my mentality, comfortability when I'm playing as well, and just trying to be interchangeable. That's something that I've been trying to work on since I've been with the Miami Heat, and I had a chance to showcase right here.
You're showcasing it for the franchise and the rest of the association. I'm imagining you got a meeting coming up here in the next few days with the Miami Heat to decide what's next for you. What's the best case scenario in your mind?
Right now, man, I'm just trying to focus on the present moment. I'm glad we got the win, and whatever the future holds for me, I'll be ready for it.
I hope it's together, my man. I'll tell you what I want.
Me too.
All right, we appreciate you, my man. Jamal Cain finishing up Summer League with the Miami Heat on a positive note. Let's take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment. The Heat win. This is the Miami Heat audio experience. Hey, Heat Nation, the best way to celebrate a Heat win is with Papa John's Pizza. Because when the Heat win, you win too. The day after a Heat win, get 50% off online orders at regular menu price when you order from the Papa John's app or papajohns.com using the promo code HEATWIN. And don't forget to join Papa Rewards for exclusive items and score points towards free pizza with every order. Papa John's, the official delivery pizza of the Miami Heat. Offer valid for online orders only. Not valid with other discounts. Delivery fee and taxes extra and are not subject to discount offer.
It's time for easier, and buying a Yamaha Wave Runner has never been easier. With the largest stock in South Florida, and with special offers during the Perfect Choice sales event, quick and easy financing and APR as low as 3.99% for 60 months. What are you waiting for? 2022 models are arriving. Jet Ski of Miami, your go-to dealer for anything Yamaha. Jet Ski of Miami and Fisherman's Boat Group, your Yamaha Marine Superstore for over 60 years. JetSkiofMiami.com. Main retail prices not include prep, freight, or tax. Slippery APR rate on price based on Tier 1 qualifying APR. See dealer for details.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Defense Crazy Andy for the Miami Heat store tonight's item of the game. Crazy Andy wants to thank you for listening to the Miami Heat audio experience. For your loyalty, I have a special item of the game deal just for you. From now until Tuesday, 10 a.m., you get half off Matchup Volume 2 shorts. Log on to the MiamiHeatStore.com and enter the promo code VEGAS. That's VEGAS, VEGAS, and you'll get 50% off Matchup Volume 2 shorts. I know you need a new pair of Miami Heat shorts, and this deal is just for you. But you better act fast because this offer ends on Tuesday, 10 a.m.
Let's get back to Vegas. The Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat audio experience.
Thanks to Crazy Andy for the love and the deals throughout Summer League here in Vegas. Amy Adelbert, Jason Jackson wrapping things up. Put a bow on this all as we wrap up this portion, which is really the beginning of the 23-24 season. Will we depart from the summer duties here and focus on some of those headlines that are still running around, plus getting ready for camp coming up in a couple months?
Yeah, I think sometimes Summer League, it's more about the newer faces and who can really carve a space out. This particular group for the Heat, I was really impressed with some of the familiar faces stepping into more leadership roles. Let's go back to California. Unfortunate that Jaime did not suit up through the remainder. Understood why with a little ding in his shoulder, but I think that he's an automatic fit. So check that box. Right. He's going to be fun to watch, and that's all you really wanted at the end of the day. And I can't wait until October-ish. I don't have dates exactly. But Nico, Nico's super aggressive to the rim, and his development. Orlando, Drew and Jamari. And Jamal, we'll see what happens there. But really, I think it was just kind of more affirmation in terms of those younger guys are continuing to develop the right way, and that's really important to the Miami Heat organization.
And next month we'll see Nico in World Cup along with Coach Bolster, assistant coach for Team USA, and Coach Kerr. So for us crazy hoop heads, it just keeps on bouncing.
No,
except for you go to Canada and work like every other week.
Yeah, just hang out in gyms.
CBL, here she comes. She's coming right back.
What's the Philippine time difference? Because that's
word.
Mr.
That's
time
gonna be special.
difference.
Yeah, that's going to be about 23 hours, I think, somewhere in there. 20
that's
hours.
Not bad, then.
Really, no, it's almost flipped.
Yeah.
The day. So that's all you got to do with that. Amy, a pleasure. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Jack's had a great time. Get out of here. And I feel pretty fresh. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
a week and a half, I've made very smart decisions.
Oh, I thought you meant like you wanted to run back to the casino.
Oh, that, yeah.
Once again, the final score, the Heat victorious, 104-78, ending Summer League in Vegas at 3-2, so make it 4-3 overall between California and Las Vegas. A winning record. The Miami Heat Audio Experience returns in October for the preseason. Lock into Heat.com and Miami Heat social media platforms for all the details. This has been a presentation of the Miami Heat Audio Experience. Our producer, Trevor Harris, our engineer, Amari Mitchell, Miami Heat Broadcasting Associate Director, Amanda Fuentes, Miami Heat Broadcasting Assistant, Courtney Fallon, our Quality Control Coordinator and Cut Creator today. For Amy Adelbert, I am Jason Jackson. See you around town, Heat Nation.
You have been listening to sizzling action of the Heat Summer League on the Miami Heat Audio Experience.
Brought to you by Baptist Health, the official healthcare provider of the Miami Heat, by Bally Sports. Catch the Heat all season long on Bally Sports Sun, the Bally Sports app, and Bally Sports Plus, and by Ticketmaster, the official ticket partner of the Miami Heat.
At the UPS store, not every small business needs the same thing, but every small business needs something. We're the scanning and faxing store, the printing store, the packing and shipping store,
I need my designing place and my printing place to be the same place store.
We're the one-stop, right around the corner, everything you need so you can be unstoppable store. The UPS store, be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
When it comes to basketball in Florida, Bally Sports Sun is the heart of the state, bringing you to the hardwood for all the biggest moments.
Kaboom! He's on fire!
Watch your hometown team turn up the temperature as they battle the very best around the league.
Oh, my.
Plus, pregame with your favorite Bally Sports team before and after each game for the Heat Live pre- and post-game shows.
Yes.
Catch the Heat all season long on Bally Sports Sun, the Bally Sports app, and Bally Sports Plus.
The all-new NBA app is happening and has you covered from coast to coast. And live tip-offs at your fingertips and highlights right as they happen.
Steph Curry drills the play.
Catch every can't-miss moment before, during, and after the game. And behind the scenes like you've never seen. It's all access, all the time.
Get on to what you do.
All in one app. Because if it's happening in the new NBA app. So get the app today.
This is Jason Jackson with the Miami Heat, and I'm here to introduce you to Accordis, preferred partner of the Miami Heat. Accordis provides the latest technology to help us and many more enterprises like yours to thrive with their solutions for managed print, IT security, and more. They hold one of South Florida's largest authorized partner networks, partnering with Cisco, Microsoft, Samsung, LG, Xerox, Dell, HP, and dozens more. Accordis gives your business the fast and effective tech game plan it needs to continue to win. To start winning with us, contact Accordis today at 1-888-331-3134 or visit them at www.accordiscorp.com.
The Miami Heat play here. WQAM Miami. WPOW HD2 Miami. WKIS HD2 Boca Raton. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
Leonard Skinnard, ZZ Top, classic rock and rolling coming to the I Think Financial Amphitheater Friday, July 21st. And we've got your chance to see the Sharp Dress Simple Man Tour. All you have to do is go to WQAM.com/contests and register. If your name is picked, you're going to see CC Top. And Leonard Skinner. This is a Live Nation show.
Really get things buzzing tonight on the program. A little bit later, I'm going to tell you why I am so glad that the Women's World Cup is in Australia, so I don't have to watch it in prime time. But that's for later in the program. I want to start off with Sunday Night Baseballs in the eighth inning with the Halos leading 7-3 over the Houston Astros. I'm going to start there because it's the biggest story going on right now. I know there's Hopkins signed with Tennessee. The Suns made a trade. Major League Baseball going on. But right now, the biggest story, I think, coming out of the All-Star game, and Ryan, you and I were around last night talking about the All-Star game and baseball, and we got a ton of great calls, right?
Oh, it was the entire 4 hours was all great baseball calls.
Was all great baseball talk. And I said this last night, I'll be candid. 2 years ago, I couldn't have that conversation with you because nobody was really paying attention to baseball. Now, we have at the trade deadline, I think this is going to be one of the best, hottest trade deadline, rumor mill type of trade deadline talk we're going to get in a long, long time. Why? Because I'm just back right now from the All-Star game in Seattle, where I got to watch the best of the best go at it. I got to spend time with a lot of different players. I saw a bunch of different agents and spent some time with people around Major League Baseball and had a fantastic time. Had a great time. All-Star game was fun. But one of the things that I saw, I thought was truly, truly amazing during the softball game, or during the baseball game. Sorry, just somebody's texting me right here. I had to ask him a question. I thought this was true. One of the things I saw that was truly, truly, truly magical in the All-Star game was when Shohei Ohtani came up to the plate in the first inning, and the fans in Seattle started chanting, "Come to Seattle, come to Seattle." And I mean, that place was rocking. Every Mariner fan in the place was chanting to Ohtani, "Come to Seattle." I will tell you this, folks. Like, Jody is the real OG of sports talk radio. I'm like right behind him. So I've seen 30 years worth of All-Star games almost. I've seen World Series. I've seen a lot of great things. My dad used to tell me I could never complain about my job because I got paid to go to games and eat hot dogs, and he was 100% right. But I've been able to see so many great things in my lifetime covering sports. Super Bowls, World Series, All-Star games, national championships, all of that. That might have been one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. The fans in Seattle chanting in unison to Ohtani in the middle of the All-Star game, "Come to Seattle." And I think it's just a little bit of a precursor of the craziness that we're going to see when it comes to Shohei Ohtani, and whether the Halos trade him, are able to trade him, hold on to him, or somebody works out a huge deal where they sign him and get to trade for him at the same time. This is going to be one of the craziest trade deadlines we are ever going to see. So let me set this up for you. The number for you to join us on the program, you guys know, but I'll give it to you anyway. 855-212-4227, 855-212-4CBS. Do you understand what you are seeing before your very own eyes? Do you understand what you're seeing before your very own eyes when it comes to Shohei Ohtani? Shohei Ohtani, I could say this, and this is not a hot take. I don't do hot takes. Leave that for some other clown. I'm going to tell you, Shohei Ohtani right now, greatest athlete walking the planet today. Say it one more time. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest athlete walking the planet today. He's a great, well, make sure I say this correctly, because I still think Bo Jackson's the greatest athlete I've ever seen in my life. But Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player on the field right now, greatest athlete currently playing today. I think that's fair. I think Bo Jackson is the greatest athlete I've ever seen in my life. Shohei Ohtani is doing things that Bo Jackson couldn't even do. Do you understand? Do you really understand how lucky we are to be alive in the year of our Lord 2023 to see Shohei Ohtani in action? Do you understand we are seeing something historical? One of the problems we have in our society today, and don't worry, I'm not going to go all political on you, but one of the big issues that we have right now is we over-exaggerate everything. We embellish everything. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest, this is the greatest, this is whatever. I want you to understand how incredible Shohei Ohtani is. And everybody else that I throw superlatives at are just that, superlatives. Shohei Ohtani is the real deal, greatest athlete currently playing that is playing today, and he might be, when it's all said and done, he might be able to take that title away from the great Bo Jackson as the greatest living athlete. Again, number for you to join us, 855-212-4227, 855-212-4227. I guess what I'm getting at is, folks, Shohei Ohtani is so incredible. He's beyond description in a world where all we do is type and create memes and send things out on social media and tweet and do everything else under the sun. Shohei Ohtani is so good, is so amazing that he's beyond 160 characters on Twitter and a photo on Instagram and a post on Facebook and whatever else you want to do, a TikTok video, talking to your friends, sending an email. Shohei Ohtani challenges the English language because I'm at a loss. I make my living by using the English language. I try to use it as best I can, but I make my living I make my living by talking. I'm having a hard time describing in context what Shohei Ohtani really is. 855-212-4227, 855-212-4227. And I think because of that, we're missing the boat. This cat should be celebrated from one side of the Pacific to the other, from the Pacific to the Atlantic, and all seven seas, and everybody in the world should understand how special Shohei Ohtani really is. He has done things in a short career that no one has ever been able to do. Let that sink in for just a minute. Do you understand? You're watching a guy who could be the modern day Babe Ruth and the modern day Nolan Ryan lumped into one. Listen, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, you name all the great sluggers of all time, they're pretty amazing. You look at all the great pitchers of all time in Major League Baseball, they're pretty amazing. But as good as Willie Mays was, and as good as Aaron Judge is today and Mike Trout is today, Big Papi, all the rest, they can't do what Ohtani does because he also pitches and has no-hit stuff every time he takes the mound. Nolan Ryan, as great as the great Ryan Express was, he can't hit bombs. He couldn't hit bombs like Shohei Ohtani. So let me just put this together for you. You've got arguably one of the greatest sluggers, and you've got one of the greatest sluggers and pitchers all rolled into one. He's 2 All-Stars. So we're going to talk about what the trade market for Shohei should be and whether Artie Moreno should trade him. But I just want to take a moment and step back. I like to do this every once in a while. A buddy of mine told me, and I've been doing this for a long time, folks. A buddy of mine told me once, first time I ever got to broadcast a World Series, he said, listen, Richie, do yourself a favor. Find a quick moment to yourself and go sit somewhere in the ballpark and just turn your phone off for 5 minutes. Don't tell anybody where you are and just take in the sights. Stop. It's basically telling me to stop and smell the roses. You know that old saying? You know, you see how beautiful the garden is, but do you sit there and really stop and smell the roses and understand how special all this is? So he told me, he goes, Richie, sit there by yourself and just take in a moment. Just let yourself relax. Stop thinking about everything you have to do, because before you know it, the moment will be over. And I thank him every day of my life. I sat there and I took in all the sights. And to this day, I still have that photo in my mind. It's not me pulling up my phone out and taking a picture. That's different. This one, I actually sat there and absorbed how special that moment is before game 1 of the World Series, so I can remember that for the rest of my life. On my deathbed, I'll be able to remember that thanks to my friend. I think of Shohei Ohtani, and by the way, I stood next to him. The guy is humongous. I didn't realize how big he was. I stood next to him in the American League dugout during the home run derby. I'm like, holy cow, this guy's even bigger than I thought he was. I want to stop for just a minute. And I want to take America. I want us to just take a moment and understand how special this young man is and how special this moment is, and that we're viewing history that you're going to tell your kids. You're going to tell your kids, I saw Shohei Ohtani play the same way that your grandparents told you, I saw Babe Ruth, I saw Willie Mays, I saw Nolan Ryan, I saw Big Papi, I saw Derek Jeter. We're all going to be telling everybody, I saw Shohei Ohtani. That's how special this cat is. 855-212-4227, 855-212-4227, the number for you to join us. He is the greatest athlete right now. He does something no one else could ever do. No one could do that right now. That's walking the face of the earth. Nobody that I know of. 855-212-4227. I'm going to be over, but I got to take this call real quick. I see up on the board. Luke in Minnesota. You're on CBS Sports Radio. You don't agree with me. I can't wait to hear from you. Welcome. You're on the show. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Luke?
Okay, well, I gotta say, I gotta clarify here. You say greatest athlete, okay, like greatest athlete any sport.
Yep. That's currently playing. Bo Jackson's the greatest athlete that ever lived, but currently playing today, doing stuff that nobody else could ever do, Shohei Ohtani.
Would you say that Tom Brady is a currently playing athlete because he played while Shohei was playing?
Nope. Shohei Ohtani could do things that remember, Tom Brady tried to play baseball, didn't make it. I bet you I could put Shohei Ohtani and he could play in the NFL.
Yes.
Tom Brady couldn't play Major League Baseball.
No. Okay, I'll give you that. But you said all sport athletes, so that encompasses...
Well, Tom Brady's not the greatest athlete. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback, but not the greatest athlete.
Okay, there I don't agree with you. I think he is better than Michael Jordan. I think he goes...
Luke, I love you, brother, but don't wade into the deep end of the pool on that one. You're going to lose. Tom Brady is a great quarterback, great athlete, but he is not the greatest physical athlete specimen ever. Now, I'm gonna let you go there before you self-destruct. But I know I'm going to get some passionate calls. I'm telling you, Shohei Ohtani will be talked about in 50 years from now the same way we talk about Babe Ruth, the same way we talk about Willie Mays, the same way we talk about all the great superstars. This cat is doing it before your very eyes. I hope you appreciate and relish the moment of time that we're living in. 855-212-4227, 855-212-4227. 427. We'll take more of your telephone calls. I've got a lot. I'm going to get into the Women's World Cup and why. Not a big soccer fan, but I'm going to just kick the hornet's nest and fight with soccer fans tonight. I feel kind of feisty tonight. I feel kind of fired up tonight. I want to hear from you. 855-212-4227. My name is Rich Herrera. This is CBS Sports Radio.
DQ presents Picture This. You're getting together with all your best friends. Now picture all your best friends are actually the delicious ingredients of the new cake batter cookie dough blizzard. That's DQ soft serve, cake batter flavor, confetti cookie dough pieces, and DQ signature sprinkles. Oh, hey, it sounds like you got some pretty sweet friends. And that's worth cueing the confetti. Cookie dough! The flavor party isn't going to last forever, so hurry in and get your cake batter fix today. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Miami area attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Offices in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cartus, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside. Repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier and High Country seat 7.
Baseball is in full swing. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to local coverage for the team you love, live stream your favorite sports radio station, or jump back and listen to the best segments on demand.
Don't forget, we talk to the manager every Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Don't listen to some guy from the other side of the country tell you about your team. Live conversations for your local team, no matter where you are. Your season, your Odyssey. Get in the game and download the free Odyssey app today.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or apply. Stop, opt out.
If you have blood sugar concerns, here's incredible news. Finally, there's one complete doctor-formulated solution to get your numbers right. Thanks to berberine, a clinically researched super ingredient, berberine glucogold will help you maintain healthy blood sugar levels while supporting cholesterol and insulin sensitivity. Text REACT to 42424 to start taking control of your blood sugar levels today. Berberine glucogold has been flying off the shelves for good reason. It pairs one of today's hottest ingredients found in nature with 3 other nutrients for incredible blood sugar results. If you're ready to take control and live your life with healthy blood sugar levels, text REACT to 42424. Text right now and we'll send you a complimentary bottle. This exclusive berberine glucogold offer is not available in stores. You can only get your complimentary bottle by texting REACT to 42424. Plus, text right now and you'll receive a bottle of vitamin D3 immune support absolutely free. Text the word REACT to 42424. That's That's REACT to 42424. REACT to 42424.
Make this the summer at Miami Lakes Auto Mall. Drive with 0 down or no payments for 90 days. Save thousands on most new models. Drive the brand awarded Best Car Styling Brand Image by Kelly Blue Book for 2022. Join the Brotherhood of Muscle in the 2023 Dodge Challenger. Just $449 per month. Or buy with 0 down. Or save up to $15,000 off MSRP on select vehicles. Miami Lakes Auto Mall, 57th Avenue in the Palmetto. Or MiamiLakesAutomall.com. Call 844-2474 for details.
Messi's in South Florida. The world's most popular athlete is playing for Inter Miami, and we've got all the games. Listen to Inter Miami versus the rest of the MLS right here. Goals, great saves, bumps and thumps, and Messi. This is the home for Inter Miami. AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Guerrero with you from coast to coast. Thanks for joining us on a Sunday night. Ryan back in our studios. Manning the ship, taking your calls. If you get past Ryan, you get to talk to America tonight. We're watching the end. I'm watching the end of the Angels and Houston Astros. Angels winning 7-5 over the Stros. And the entire broadcast, they've just been talking. Everybody's been talking. Every game has been talking about Shohei Ohtani. Will the Angels trade him during the All-Star game? John Paul Morosi tweeted out that the Angels are considering offers. Of course they're going to consider offers. He's a free agent that'll walk at the end of the season. Can the Angels find enough back to keep him? Can they try to re-sign him? Does he want to walk? He's represented by CAA. Does he walk and then maybe re-sign with the Angels? If the Angels trade him, could they ever re-sign him? Would he be mad and say, I don't want to go back there? The Yankees desperately want him. The Padres desperately want him. The Dodgers are sitting, and Andrew Friedman's sitting there waiting for him to become available, and they're going to throw every dollar they can. He's going to be the richest paid baseball player in the history of the game. He's going to go $600 million. I think he goes more than that. So, as all that's going on, I just wanted to take a step back and talk about Shohei Ohtani and make sure that we understand and we take that moment just to comprehend and grasp what we're seeing. One of the things is when I first started doing sports talk radio, and I worked up at KNBR in San Francisco, and there are a lot of people that had seen Joe DiMaggio play, and they talk about the great DiMaggio. They talk about Willie Mays, and I'm like, I wasn't old enough to remember the Say Hey Kid, and I wasn't old enough to see DiMaggio, and it always kind of made me sad. Like, I never got to see DiMaggio. I never got to see Mays in his prime. I get to see Shohei Ohtani in his prime, and I am going to tell you, my grandkids will sit on my knee, and I will tell them about the great Ohtani and how amazing he is, because he's going to be that kind of historical baseball player. Do you understand how incredible what we're seeing that nobody else has ever been able to do in this game of baseball? It's simply amazing. And I don't think, I think we have a couple of problems. Number one, we overestimate everything. This is the greatest meal I've ever had. Or it's impossible to fathom how incredible this guy is. Let me go to Greg in Michigan. Start us off this go-round. Greg, welcome. You're on CBS Sports Radio. Good Sunday evening to you, my friend.
Richie Rich, Mr. Positive. Hey, just hear me out here.
Absolutely, brother. Go for it.
I think you're a little bit drinking the Kool-Aid. You're caught up in the moment. Number one, he is not going to define the sport of baseball. Baseball doesn't have the cachet. Number two, 30 years from now, you're not going to be talking about Shohei because we don't know how long his career is going to be, number one. We're not going to be talking about him in the same vein as Ali, Jordan, LeBron, Gretzky, Sanders, how they define their sport in the sense of the greatness that they brought to it. Now, you talk about athlete. For me, there's no dispute. Mays is the greatest baseball player to ever play the game. You talk about athleticism, 5 tools: hitting for power, hitting for average, running, throwing, and catching.
Yep.
Can Shohei do all of those? Those are 5 athletic abilities, the 5 tools for baseball. Yes, he can pitch. Don't get me wrong. There are people that play center field that can throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. They just don't pitch. Shohei can hit the ball 500 feet. Yes, I agree. But I think you're just caught up in the moment. Don't get me wrong. Shohei is a phenomenal special. He's a specimen of, the likes we haven't seen since probably Bo, maybe Dion, but not nearly as good. But I think you're just getting caught up. We'll see how many championships he wins.
Right.
What will his lifetime batting average be?
Right.
And for 5 years, he's going to be someone special. But 30, 40 years from now, Richie Rich, I don't see it. They're not going to be talking like my boy Elvis, the Beatles, Jackson, all the great sports figures. And I know I bring those in, but
listen,
see it
that's
as an
perfectly
anomaly.
fair. Greg, that's perfectly fair.
Am I fair in my assessment?
Oh, you're 100% fair in your assessment. So here's what we'll go back.
Where am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I know this is weird. Sports Talk Radio, not just hanging up on you and telling you you're an idiot, but we'll talk through this. I think that, yes, I am caught up in the moment, and I'm glad I'm caught up in the moment because you know what? Have you ever seen there's a meme? I'm going to tell a meme talking about a meme. There's a photo that I saw once on social media, and it was a bunch of people watching a race, and there were like 100 people, and everybody had their phone out because when you go anywhere now, nobody just sits and watches. We got to take a picture of it. And there was all these people taking a picture of it, except for this one little old woman who was just sitting there looking at it, taking in the moment herself. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking in the moment myself. I think you are correct. Longevity, I pray that he doesn't get hurt and he gets to live up to all of his potential. But that's with everybody, right? So
Right.
If he lives up to his potential, he's doing stuff that Babe Ruth never did. He's doing stuff that all the greats have never done, being dominant in 2 different parts of the game. Like you said, there's plenty of pit guys that can throw that have cannons in center field or cannons at shortstop, but they're not pitchers. They're not going out and doing what he's doing as being one of the best pitchers in the big leagues. There's plenty of guys that might be able to do it, but they don't. So he's doing something that nobody else has ever done. You're right. I don't think he's going to. Make sure I say this correctly. I don't think he's going to define the game, but I think he might redefine the game because right now when you're young and you become a pitcher and you're pretty good, we make you what they call a PO, a pitcher only. If Shohei shows, why not let pitchers hit? Maybe we'll see more of that. Maybe he helps advance the game, redefine the game. I know why they don't let pitchers hit is because they're afraid they're going to get hit by a pitch and break their hand at the
Right.
plate. If pitching is so scarce, you do everything you can. Pitch counts. You don't let them hit to try to save them, to keep them as healthy as they can because they're so valuable. But he's actually redefining that because there were thoughts of, all right, if he wants to come over here, maybe we'll let him hit a little bit, but we're not going to let him pitch, or maybe we'll let him pitch, but we're not going to let him hit. He said, I'm going to do both. And the Angels said, fine, you can come here and do both. And there were teams that were talking to him like, I don't know if I'm going to let you do both. Fine, I'll find the one team that wants me to. That's why he went to the Halos.
Oh, Richie Rich, spot on. Mr. Positive tells everybody, go for your dreams. Great show, Richie Rich. I'm listening. Yo.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Let's go to Randy, Pennsylvania. Randy, come on. You're on CBS Sports Radio. What's up, man?
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
I'm great, buddy. Thank you for calling.
Oh, man, that dude just stole my thunder, man.
Now, come on. I want to hear you say it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. Ohtani is a great, great player. But longevity.
Yes.
Longevity, you doing all that, his career ain't going to last that long, believe me.
Well, but we
I'm
don't know.
telling you that now.
But we don't know. We've never seen anybody.
That's my personal opinion.
Right.
And I wouldn't pay him millions of dollars to come into my organization because he ain't gonna last. That's the way it is.
Well, how, are you hoping that, or do you know that?
Pardon me?
Do you know that, or why do you say he's not going to last?
He's a freak of nature. All right, he's a freak of nature, and I don't think he's gonna last because he's hitting pitching, and whatever he's doing.
Right.
That's a lot.
I mean, he's one of a kind, right?
Yeah, he's one of a kind. I agree with you there, Rich. I really agree with you there. But you got to realize, but a pitcher, a pitcher and catching and everything else, and that's going to take a toll on your body.
It is, and that's why what he does. I mean, listen, I don't know. He could blow tomorrow, but at the moment right now, he is Babe Ruth.
He's the greatest. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, there you go. So
great.
yeah, hey, so maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit more than everybody else. But darn it, this is something that we've never seen before. So I'm going to drink all this Kool-Aid.
Well, yeah, definitely drink that Kool-Aid. Enjoy it while you can.
Exactly. I hope you're wrong, Randy. And I think you hope you're wrong, because if he stays healthy and he does this through a career, we're talking about a guy who's going to be one of the most incredible potential Hall of Famers. He's not a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer right now. You got to do it for a long time. But if he could, Randy, do you know how incredible he is?
Oh, I understand that. How long has he been in the league?
What's he got? He was hurt.
2 years?
I got 3 years. I'll look that up just to make sure. I should know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Longevity.
Right, Ryan, what did you tell me?
So was it 2017? He beat Glaber and Andujar in the rookie year. So it's been 6 years.
6 years. Yeah, it has to be 6 years. I'm sorry. It seems like it just like that, right?
Yeah.
6 years because he's walking as a free agent. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, Randy, I got to run, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for listening. Let's see, Ryan, if you can hit that for me. There you go. I fat fingered the button. I hit the wrong one. All right. Kent, Neil, Bill, Manuel. I want to hear from everybody. Number for you to join us, 855-212-4227, 855-212-4CBS. What would you do if you're Artie Moreno? Would you trade Shohei Ohtani? You know, the last person that traded a hitter and a pitcher like that was Harry Frazee, and he had a curse upon the Red Sox forever. We'll talk about that coming up next. But right now, Peter Schwartz is going to update you on what's going on Sunday Night Baseball, all the scores around Major League Baseball, some moves in the NBA, signings in the NFL. Peter's got a lot. This CBS Sports Radio update. Peter?
CBS Sports Radio. Sports Flash.
And, Rich, we will start in Anaheim, and it's been a wild game all night. They're going bottom 9. The Astros now lead the Angels 9-7. Alex Bregman with a 2-run homer in the top of the ninth to put the Astros ahead. Kyle Tucker fouled, making it back-to-back home runs. 9-7 Astros over the Angels as they play bottom 9 in Anaheim. Now to New York, where the Mets and Dodgers were tied at 1 in the bottom of the 10th.
No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. Swing, a ground ball hits towards first. It's fair. It's rolling down the right field line. Beatty's around third. He will score. A pinch hit walk-off single for Luis Guillorme in the bottom of the 10th inning. And the Mets win 2-1 and salvage the final game of the series. And they mob Guillorme out at second base.
That was Pat McCarthy on Mets Radio. Elsewhere, Mariners beat the Tigers 2-0. Twins 5, A's 4. Red Sox over the Cubs 11-5. Rangers 6, Guardians 5. In 11, Rockies 8, Yankees 7. Cardinals beat the Nationals 8-4. Royals 8, Rays 4. It was the Phillies over the Padres in 12 innings 7-6. Blue Jays 7, Diamondbacks 5. The Brewers over the Reds 4-3. White Sox 8, Braves 1. The Orioles beat the Marlins 5-4. And in 10, Giants 8, Pirates 4. From football, the Titans and free agent forward DeAndre Hopkins reportedly agreed on a 2-year deal. It could be worth up to $15 million in the first year with incentives. NBA, the Suns reportedly agreed to terms of free agent forward Bol Bol. The Suns also reportedly trade Cameron Payne, the future second-round pick, to the Spurs for a future second-round pick. And the Suns also reportedly acquire 3 future second-round picks from the Magic in exchange for a swap of 2026 first-round picks. Wimbledon, Carlos Alcaraz, a 5-set win over Novak Djokovic to win the men's final. I'm Peter Schwartz.
We're CBS Sports Radio. Online at cbssportsradio.com. On Facebook at facebook.com/CBS Sports Radio. And you can tweet anytime at CBS Sports Radio.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol. When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Make this the summer at Miami Lakes Auto Mall. Save thousands and drive with zero down or zero payments for 90 days on most new models. The Ram 1500 has received J.D. Power's best drive appeal among large light-duty trucks 3 years in a row. Get a brand new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab for $459 per month for 42 months or save thousands off MSRP on select vehicles. Buy online at Miami Lakes Chrysler JeepDodgeRam.com. Call 844-255-2474 for details.
¿Quieres mejorar el transporte público del condado de Miami-Dade? El Fideicomiso Cívico Independiente del Transporte, CITT, busca usuarios frecuentes del transporte público interesados en compartir sus experiencias sobre el transporte mediante una aplicación para ayudar a mejorar el servicio local de transporte. Solicita ser embajador del CITT y obtén recompensas por tus comentarios. Más en miamidade.gov/CITT-ambassador.
Baseball is in full swing. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to local coverage for the team you love, live stream your favorite sports radio station, or jump back and listen to the best segments on demand.
Don't forget we talk to the manager every Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Don't listen to some guy from the other side of the country tell you about your team. Live conversations for your local team, no matter where you are. Your season, your Odyssey. Get in the game and download the free Odyssey app today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
What does summer sound like in a new Chevy? Find the best way to the ballpark with the Chevy Equinox navigation system. Load up the kayaks with room to spare in the spacious Chevy Trailblazer with 60/40 split folding rear seats. Haul out the camper and spend a night roasting marshmallows with the Chevy Silverado. Or feel the roar of the crowd and bring the whole crew along in the Chevy Traverse with seating for up to 8. So what are you waiting for? Click now and find summer happiness in a new Chevy. See your South Florida Chevy dealer. Traverse seating up to 8 standard and LS available on LT with second row bench seat, RS Premier and High Country seat 7.
Summertime. Hot. Which of course means heat. Which of course means more Heat Summer League games. The Heat will be in Las Vegas, seeing what they've got. And you can listen to the games here. A week's worth of Heat basketball on the home of the Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat. AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is CBS Sports Radio. My name is Rich Herrera. Thanks for joining us. The Shohei Ohtani show continues. Just back from the All-Star game, saw what a magical event it was. The fans chanting, "Come to Seattle," on their own. That wasn't organized by somebody online or Twitter or anything. That was spontaneous. Somebody started chanting, "Come to Seattle," and it was throughout his entire AB. It was incredible. By the way, Shohei Ohtani, as we went to break, went deep with a big fly to center field. 411 feet, almost dead center. Incredible. Incredible. I will stick to my guns and tell you that we are seeing something we've never seen before and might not ever see again. Someone like Shohei Ohtani. He is that special. He pitches. He hits 400-foot tape measure of home runs. He has no-hit stuff every time he takes the field. This could be one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen in my life. And as we're going to break, here's what's going on in Anaheim.
Shohei has gone 0 for 3, and he swings at that one and blasts the ball into dead center field. Out at the wall, it's out of here. Ohtani flexes his muscles right there, just like he did late in the ball game last night.
Shohei Ohtani with the bomb highlight courtesy of the Angels Radio Network. How about that? Let's take more of your telephone calls, shall we? Where am I going to go? Let me see. I'm going to go talk to Kent in Virginia next up. Kent, welcome. You're on CBS Sports Radio. Good evening, my friend. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm on the way to Texas to see my brothers.
Oh, very nice.
And everything. Yeah, I'm got a little vacation time, so I'm taking the time to be able to spend some time with my brothers.
Very nice. How long of a drive is it going to be?
About 19 and a half hours.
Oh, who's in the car with you?
Me and my daughter.
All right. What's your daughter's name?
Christina.
Hi, Christina.
She said hi.
Okay.
She don't like to talk over the radio on there.
Okay, I promise. But I still wait. Hold on a sec. I still might mention her name for the rest of the show, just as long as you guys are driving. So I'm going to write this down.
Right.
Christina's going to. Where are you guys going to in Texas?
Dallas.
Okay. I'll check on Christina throughout the show. How's that?
That's fine.
All right. So talk to me.
I seen the guy play like he did last night, and I seen him play. You know, I think he's going to be one of the greatest. But as long as he stays healthy and doing what he's doing right now, while he's still young, and God, I hope you're right about this. That as long as he stays good and healthy, and he can keep on playing the way he's playing, but he's only playing baseball. He's not like Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders.
That's why I said Bo Jackson's the greatest.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Bo Jackson played both, and Deion played both. But Deion played offense and defense for the NFL. No matter what team he went to, he did go play both. When they asked him to play,
he played a little bit of offense, but he was an all-pro cornerback. He was a good baseball player, great football player. Would we agree with that?
But when they definitely need a certain particular play, when they came up to Deion and said, "Hey, we need you to make this play for us," he ran offense and defense.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
But he did a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, just a little bit. But let me ask you this. So if you're saying the greatest two sports star of all time, is it prime time or is it Bo Jackson?
Damn, you got me in the court right there. I like them both. I got them.
I know, but
I got them both.
But hey, come on.
At number one.
No,
But
you got to pick one.
I think I'm going a little bit more Dion because he did a little bit what he did. It just seems like he did a little bit more than Bo. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from the Bo fans or anything like that. I just think he did a little bit more than what the average person is actually seeing what he could and could not do.
I saw both.
Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong about it, or
I saw both, and then I saw both, and then Brian Jordan played in the National Football League and was good. Played for the Cardinals and was good. But I'm gonna go Bo Jackson because Bo was an All-Pro in both, and he was dominant. He was the best running back. Could do things that no one else was doing in the National Football League. He can run over you. He can run around you. He can run away from you. He was just power. Look what he did to Boz. Boz took a bad angle, but he still carried him into the end zone. He was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he did basically the same thing with Emmitt Smith that he did when he was injured that 1 year when he had that shoulder all tore up in pieces.
Right, and then in baseball, he would hit 500-foot tape measure home runs, and he would make diving catches. He'd run on the wall like Spider-Man, and you saw that one play that's famous where he throws Harold Reynolds out at the plate from the outfield where HR. I've heard HR talk about it. He said there's no way that anyone was going to throw him out, and Bo throws a seed to Bob Boone and gets him. For me, my money, Bo's greatest athlete I've ever seen, but Shohei Ohtani's doing things that I don't know if Bo could do. I know Bo could hit like anybody, but Bo had a cannon, but we never saw him pitch the way Ohtani is with no hit stuff every time out.
Yeah, Bo is not really. Bo wasn't playing. Bo was not really he wasn't a pitcher. He was just he was an outfielder,
freak
he was
athlete,
also a runner.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
100%.
If you gave him a chance, to say, "Hey, Bo, we want you to start pitching for us," then that'd be a whole different ballpark.
All right, let me ask you this, Kent. How much longer are you guys going to be on the road?
I am getting ready to settle down right at before 12 o'clock. And so it's here on the East Coast, and I am getting ready to be probably like another half an hour or so.
Another half hour. All right. So I'll make sure that I say hi to Christina. If you guys stopped anywhere fun, do you just drive through, or do you let her stop at the world's biggest ball of twine or at Buc-ee's or something?
I don't think they have that in Tennessee yet. So, I mean, I don't know if they do.
Buc-ee's is down.
Many times I've been on the road many times. I've never seen it.
Well, I hope but do you just plow all the way through, or do you let her stop and see something cool?
If we stop at a truck stop or gas station need fuel, and she sees something she wants, she knows Daddy gonna let her have it.
How old is she?
That's my baby. She just turned 13 and she just had her appendix taken out.
Oh, poor thing. Well, all right. Well, I hope she has a great road trip and she enjoys going to see family. And thank you for calling in tonight. All right.
I appreciate it, bro.
All right. Take care. We go to Bill in Pennsylvania. Bill, welcome. You're on CBS Sports Radio. Good evening. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Good evening, Rich. The only thing I have to say about Shohei's very great, but we have to figure out a way to calculate what other players would have done in different eras. You got a different DH rule for Shohei. He can pitch and still hit and stay in the game as a batter when they replace the pitcher, but a normal player would go at first base, they would have to pull him out. So we need to come up with a different system to
but see, that's where I talk about, Bill, that he actually redefines everything because, we've had the designated hitter since 72. So we've had 50 years. We've had 50 years of DH.
Only in half the league.
In half the league, so we have 50 years of DH in the American League, right? But nobody's ever done it before, and nobody's ever been a hitter and a pitcher at the same time.
Right, but they change the rules so he can stay in the game as a batter when he comes out as a pitcher. The other pitchers come out.
No, they changed. Right, but he also hits. He's also the DH at the other points of in his non-starts as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they change. Yeah, but when he's pitching, he's a player. If a player comes out of the game, he cannot stay in the game.
Right, but Bill, I think Bill, I think we're kind of parsing over this guy has done something that nobody else has ever done. So 50 years the American League, it could have been done. Nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever tried. Nobody's ever attempted. Nobody's ever thought of it. When Ohtani was getting ready to come over from Japan and they were going to post for him, everybody's like, well, he's never going to, he can't come over here and do both. You just can't do that. It's impossible. Nobody could do it. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine if we had sports talk radio when Babe Ruth was playing? Oh, nobody, Babe Ruth. You have this pitcher from the Red Sox. Yeah, everybody was like, oh, Babe Ruth. This guy plays in the outfield, and this guy was a pitcher. He can't just be a hitter in the outfield anymore. That's ridiculous. We can't do anything like that. Redefined it, and I think that's what Ohtani's doing right now. If we allow it,
you are correct. It is redefined, but we need to be able to measure past history versus new history and there's no way to really actually do that.
Right, but for now, can you and I enjoy the moment of we're seeing history, something that's the thing. I think in our society, what's that?
I said I can enjoy it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm celebrating tonight, enjoying it. Because there's so many times, listen, I don't know about you, but I get sick and tired of every time I turn around, I have to have a list for this and a list for that. I have to have way too early predictions. There's clowns out there that are doing mock NFL drafts from 3 years from now. Let's just enjoy the moment that we're watching history and something that we're going to be able to tell our kids about one day.
We need to enjoy what we have now because we can't enjoy the previous or the future, but we can enjoy now.
Enjoy the moment. Bill, I got to run. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let me go to Manuel and Cali. Welcome. You're on CBS Sports Radio. What's up, brother?
Hello?
Manuel, is it Manuel or Manuel? Manuel, what's up? You're on CBS Sports Radio. What's up, buddy?
I just wanted to call you to tell you that, I agree with you. But God only gives a certain amount of talent to everybody. And I'm an old man, and I've had the opportunity to see a lot of these guys, and I think the caller that is saying that he's a freak of nature is wrong because these guys have been given a little bit of talent by God, the body by God, but they've worked at their crafts. And Ohtani is still working at his pitching craft. So I think that it's a once-in-a-lifetime athlete that we are watching.
Yep. I agree with you, and I think there is a point to he has such God-given ability, and he's able to make the most of it to do something that nobody else has ever done before, pitching and hitting at this level. And like the last caller said, well, we didn't have the DH before. I get that part. But if there was somebody that was that great of a hitter and that great of a pitcher, they would have played in the outfield for 2 or 3 days, taken a day off, pitched, taken a day off, went back in the outfield and hit. Nobody's even thought about anything like this. That's how incredible what Shohei is doing right now. It's that incredible. All right, so I want to ask you, what should the Angels do? Angels have the greatest story in this. They have a historic baseball player. He's up for free agency. Do you deal him? Do you hold on to him? We're going to get into that next. I'm Rich Herrera. Thanks for joining us. This is CBS Sports Radio.